What up, y'all? I'm back at the base station. Y'all can get your crack now. I don't know why my eyes are a little tight. I guess I've been getting too much sun. But look, here go the deal. First thing somebody want to say is cartoon gets to respond, frog didn't. Totally different situation. Totally different attitude. On top of all the things that I could say about that in relations to Frog and Rockhead, versus Cool's video. Frog didn't make a video to respond to. Frog was disrespecting Rockhead. We haven't seen any disrespect yet. Frog was yelling and talking over Rockhead, making Rockhead have to yell and scream back. They couldn't talk over each other. Cool's not on here with Cartoon. They can't yell and scream and disrespect each other and go back and forth. Big difference. Guys always looking for something that ain't there. Guys always fake politicking, fake hating, always trying to throw smut, always throwing your weak opinions out there. And all you gotta do is sit back and wait. If it goes there, it goes there. If it don't go there, it wasn't expected to go there. So, and as far as my response, I don't have a response. To be totally honest with you, I don't have a response. But Cartoon does. Cartoon, when he gets in here, he'll tell you what's on his mind, and we go from there. But I talk to Cartoon, I talk to Mump, and I talk to Cool. What up, Cartoon?
Oh, what's up, cuz?
Not much. I see you got that Oakland A's, huh?
Oh, I give yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. That's I gotta push that. I gotta push
Right.
that.
Marlon Guest, what up? What up, Cartoon Man? What you got for us tonight as it
Man,
pertains to that video that we made and a response from Cool?
right. I had received I had received a lot of phone calls from some of my partners. You know what I'm saying? And asked me had I seen what old boy response was. I'm like, okay, well, now let me find it. I actually went and found it. I'm like, okay, I listened to it. Okay, before I want to go into it, I seen where you were speaking on I think in the backyard. You was in the backyard or somewhere kicking it, and you was telling we were supposed to go ahead and talk about it, but I wasn't able to show up. But
Right.
you had told everybody that I want to come on and apologize for what was said. Okay, well, first off, that was kind of a little error because there's no apology needed. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing that I'm apologize for because I said nothing that was wrong to the point to where I had to apologize to old boy. Like you said, opinions are opinions, and that was my opinion. But now what I'm going to do, I'll validate his feelings. You know what I'm saying? I will validate how he feel about what I said. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, if somebody was to come on the air and tell me, you know what I'm saying, Avalon wasn't this or that, I'm gonna feel some type of way too, whether they were right or whether they were wrong. I would feel some type of way too. So I'm saying, he had a right to be offended about that. But as far as apologizing to him for it, no, that ain't gonna happen. I was going over some. I had never really looked after. I had never looked at the interviews you had did, because when I be on YouTube and I go through the thing, Kev Mac, I see where you did the interview with the Bebops. It was a 5-part series. I said, okay, well, I checked it out. You know what I'm saying? I looked at it. And like I said, I commend him on the way he handled it. You know what I'm saying? I could hear in his voice he was upset about it. But you know what I'm saying? I like I say, I commend him on, like he said, if you have an opinion on something, that's your opinion. But now all opinions are not, sometimes shouldn't be voiced on open air platforms like this. And I agree. You know what I'm saying? I agree with that. You have an opinion. If it's opinion to the point to where it's gonna make the next man feel, you know what I'm saying, a little certain way. Maybe you just keep that opinion to yourself. And when I was speaking to Mump, you know what I'm saying? Like I say, I spoke my opinion, but and I turned around and now now I'm gonna go deeper into it. You know what I'm saying? I got some blood partners out there. You know what I'm saying? I got it them. I'm like, man, check this out. You seen about it? They like, well, yeah, Tune, we seen it, back and forth, back and forth. And I said, yeah, I really didn't mean to disrespect them cats, but boom. And well, a lot of them are like, well, Tune, don't trip. It ain't, you know what I'm saying? It ain't like you said something wrong or this and that. And I'm like, okay, well, cool, all right, well, cool, boom. But I'ma also say, people who live in glass houses shouldn't throw rocks. And I'm saying that to say, if you go back to the Bebop Watts interview in part 3, a little bit before you get to the end, I don't know if it was Melly Mel or your other homeboy had even asked him kind of like the same thing about the Hat Gang Watts.
Yeah. Yeah.
And his comeback was, he said no, the Hat Gang Watts not relevant. Okay, what's the difference from what I said versus what he said? He spoke his opinion on how he felt about the Hat Gang Watts, and I'm quite sure it was some Hat Gang Watts that didn't like that. So you know what I'm saying? But now when you point the gun, it's all good. But when the gun get pointed back at you, now you want to feel some type of way. So he got to take that one with a grain of salt, homie. You know what I'm saying? So and he's speaking a lot on they said being frontline this and frontline that. All right, cool. Hey, he himself spoke on that. They rightly didn't become Bloods till what, the end of the 70s or the beginning of the 80s. Bloods was blooding. 71, 72, 73. So, frontline wear. But now anyway, like I say, I'm sorry the young man felt how he felt about it. You know what I'm saying? It was what it was. Like I say, it was my opinion. And the reason why my opinion was that was I've been in and out of YA, juvenile hall, the county jail, prison, all my life. Everywhere, man, I done met Bloods from all over the hills and dales, but out of dang near 40-some years in the jail system from a child on up, I ain't never ran across no Bebop Watts. So that's what I made the statement I said when I said, I ain't juvenile hall, county, prison, YA, I ain't never ran across them. So, the biggest thing I'd ever seen about them was when I got out of jail one time, and I seen where I think either them, they crossed the Swans out, or the Swans had crossed them out, and me and the homies was riding. I'm like, dang, cuz they beefing? And he was like, I think so, and I'm like, dang, well, it was shock to me because I wasn't used to seeing Bloods go to war with each other. But other than that, I had never, really heard or. Whatever. So, that's why my opinion was based on that. Now, true enough, what they down there doing, I couldn't tell you. I don't know. But like I say, it's just an opinion.
Right.
So, going along the same line, excuse me. He was saying something about during the war years. In the war years, I'm like, I'm listening. Okay, I'm like, dang, what's the war years to him? And he was speaking on like 79, 78, 80, you know what I'm saying? Then like, no, homie, them ain't no war years. As far as Crips and Bloods go, we was warring from the early 70s on till now. War years ain't started in no late 70s, not with no Crip and Blood rivalries. Was started way before that. So, the thing about, I heard, when y'all was speaking on, first generation, second generation, and this and that, you know what I'm saying? That's based on when your set came out, whether you was because you could be a first generation of whatever set you from. So if your set came out in 79 or 80 and you was there then, okay, you a first generation of whatever your set is. But if your set came out in 71, 72, you'd have had to been way back then and been a first. So, first generation is not based on age and all that. First generation is based on when your set came out. And if you were around then, or if you weren't around then, or whenever you happen to come around. But yeah, man, it wasn't no thing, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't no, I didn't, it wasn't trying to like shoot no shots directly, because I don't even know him, but boom, like I say, he felt some type of way. I would have felt some type of way too. You know what I'm saying? So like I say, ain't no apologies coming from me, period, on nothing. But like I say, I can validate his feelings on why he felt that way, because I would have felt that way too. But you know what I'm saying? Because in my mind, but I had a reason to feel that way I felt. But now, I mean, just like on the little thing he put on, what was that, about a couple of days ago, when he put the straight out, let me see, it say straight out the gate bloods. He had some on YouTube that he just put on there a couple of days ago. Straight out the gate bloods. Okay. And I think he's speaking on his set, NHPs, Crenshaw Mafias, and the families. And what it was really about, I'm not really sure, because it kind of throwed me. But now, I'm not gonna even lie. You feel me? Say, he had a little venom in his voice, and he was speaking. I guess he was saying that, blood sets during from like 71, 72, 73, 4, 5, 6, and 7 were some about this word he used, I think, anti-Crips, which I don't even know what that is, anti-Crip. You know what I'm saying? As far as boom, you know what I'm saying? Because Crips and Bloods was warned for real back then. Ain't no such, they just didn't start beefing in the late 70s. They was warned for real back then. You had a lot of lives lost in this gang war during them times back then. But now, it was like he was emphasizing like the sets that came about, or the bloods that came about in the late 70s, as he so vehemently kept, iterating with bluster and force, Crip killers, you know what I'm saying? Crip killers, you know what I'm saying? Okay, now, somebody, if they didn't want to look beyond that, could take offense to that, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know what I'm saying? Okay, you had bloods that was coming out that would, you know what I'm saying? But you had 9 million Crip sets that was blood killers.
Well, let me say this. Because we don't want to get whoever else got a channel or doing videos, they can nitpick and be petty all they want. I don't want you, because now you starting to just pick things out on cool. We already addressed what we want to address.
Okay.
Other than Mumpy, we haven't talked about Mumpy stance, but yeah,
Mump was understandable. Mump with the jail back in like 79.
Right.
Yeah, so then he was from the West Side, so he really didn't know. He didn't mean no harm. He didn't mean no foul. He didn't mean none of that. He just didn't know.
And that's why I didn't step in and say nothing, because I know Mump left early, and I know Bebop came out late 70s.
Right, so right.
It was nothing for me to step in for, in my opinion. But plus,
because he had made the statement he felt that you should have been a better moderator or something like that. But now, like I say, as far as you go, can't nobody really say, you don't choose sides, you don't pick corners, none of that. You know what I'm saying? You just a YouTuber, and we get on here and we say certain things, you know what I'm saying? So I don't really want nobody to say, oh, well, Kev Mac chose this side, Kev Mac chose that side, because no, Kev Mac don't do that. You don't do that, homie. You fair all the way around. You let everybody say whatever they have to say, as long as it don't get too far, or as long as it don't, you know what I'm saying, don't get too disrespectful. And I'm one, I can't say that you pick sides. No, you fair all the way around the board.
Yeah, Mump's the big homie, though. I'm going to let him say what he want to say, but he asked a legitimate question. Was they factors? That's all.
Right.
He didn't go in on them. He didn't disrespect them or none of that.
No. Because he just didn't know.
Yeah.
He just didn't know. And it's like, if people that, well, if they listen to me, and if they know me or they listen to me, I would never, you know what I'm saying, get on here and purposely, maliciously, disrespect, you know what I'm saying, somebody said, whether they blood or Crip, you know what I'm saying? That does not, that is not, let me say it right now. That is not my thing, period. You know what I'm saying? I'm kicking 60 years old and behind. My gang banging years, they far behind me. I done did it, it's behind me. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? I don't never want to disrespect the person, call them out their name, disrespect they set, or make you know what I'm saying? None of that. If I, I don't want to do that. I'm not gonna do that. It just, you know what I'm saying? Like I say, I validate how I feel because I would have felt the same way. Once I thought about it, I would have felt the same way if the shoe would have been on the other foot.
But it's funny because it comes up. A few people I've been to 2 funerals. A few people got at me and said that that the homie Cool was like kind of on me and my moderation, but I'm not gonna look at his channel and tell him how to moderate his,
Right.
because as moderators, as Melly Mel would say, we human, we not perfect. And so he kind of got a point, but I wasn't the one talking. You was talking, yeah, moderated, okay, but I might have wanted to hear what you had to say about them because you down central, he down central. I don't know
Right.
what you knew about him or how you felt about him. And then 88 Avalons is right down there, right by 9 Deuce and 9 Trey. So you might have had something good to offer. I can't just in the middle cut you off. We never would have known what your opinion was.
True that. True that. I mean, and you're right about that. Like I say, I'm right there. When I, back in the '80s, you know what I'm saying? I'm in the Avalon Gardens every day. You know what I'm saying? And I'm knee deep. No, matter of fact, I ain't knee deep. I'm eyeball deep in that gang life on that east side. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if let me see, not like I say, you like I say, you base your opinion on your experience, on your street experiences. Now, if I would have had a lot of street experiences on you know what I'm saying, catching flack from them or hearing about them, this and that, my opinion might have been different. It's just, I just didn't hear all that. I never heard nothing. But like I say, I didn't mean it to be disrespectful to old boy or his set.
All right. Yeah, yeah. I mean, then sometimes, we can't take it back. What's said in public is said. It's like you watching TV, every now and then you hear a curse word on live TV. It happened already.
Right.
And let me ask you one question. I just got one question for you. What changed from apologizing to not gonna apologize? Was it because you seen the video afterwards?
I mean, well, first off, when I spoke to you about it, did I use the words I was going to apologize?
Yeah.
I did.
What you said was you wouldn't, because you said if somebody said that about your hood, you would be offended too.
Right.
But I mean, you didn't make it seem like you were doing no long drawn out.
Yeah, but yeah, that's why like I say, if somebody was to say that about Avalon, yeah, I would be offended. But the apologizing part, because when I heard you say it, I say, dang, did I say I was going to apologize?
Yeah, well, I could kind of tell you didn't want to apologize. That's why I made the title "Responds" instead of "Apologizes."
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. See, you used the term, or you said the words that I was going to apologize
because
you
had told me.
But I never,
that was
I
fresh
didn't have
off the press though. That was last week.
Right. But as far as apologizing about it, see, to me, if I would have said something that was an outright lie or something, okay, yeah, no, homie, let me apologize to you for, you know what I'm saying, for blah blah blah, because I lied on you. But like I said, in my mind, I didn't lie. In my mind, I said the truth. But I commend him for saying, okay, my opinion probably should not have been said on an open air platform, because it was a lot of people could take, homie from his hood, could take offense to that. And I can understand, okay, I probably shouldn't have said that they wasn't a factor on open air like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I would get mad about it.
Yeah, it's a lot of people watching, so sometimes we got to be careful and responsible.
Right.
But I feel like it's more people with YouTube channels' responsibility than it is a guest coming on.
Right.
But we could always correct our guests once or twice, and if they don't listen, then it's on us.
Right.
But
So,
OG Cutes, I don't know if you know Cutes, man.
oh
What's
yeah,
up, brother?
I
How you
seen Cuz
brothers?
on there a lot of times. What's up, homie?
How you brothers doing?
All right,
Okay.
Cutes, what up?
Man, I just wanted to, I just wanted to take the opportunity, since we're Crips, to weigh in on the topic
Go ahead.
and put a little enlightenment in the topic. All right, so the word factor. So if I'm gang banging and my set is having conflict with the Van Ness boys, pre-blood or when they became bloods, when they joined up with the Pyrus, or when they joined up with the Brims, which they did first. If I say that someone hypothetically asked me, we don't do skits, so that's why I like this channel. So I'm on air, someone hypothetically asked me, hey man, did you guys have beef with the Van Ness boys? And I'm a Magnificent 7 West Side Crip. And I would say, okay, I could respond to that in different ways. I could say, yeah, we had conflict with them. They were, they were pretty cool. We used to get down. None of them ever snitched on me or anything. But we would fight them on the back streets, or we would fight them at school, or we would fight them in juvenile hall, or we would fight them in jail, in the LA County jail. Okay, if someone asks me the question and I respond, I can say, no, they wasn't really a factor. There wasn't that many of them, but the few that they did have, they had a few good soldiers. And then I would name a few of their good soldiers, That's the different ways that I could respond to someone just giving me a hypothetical or just shooting me with something real quick before I really process it through my mental filter. And I say, okay, I'm going to respond, but give me a chance to think about it. Okay, so if I say a set wasn't a factor and it was an immediate theater of war with me, then I'm not disrespecting the set by saying it wasn't a factor, because factor is not a bad word. Factor could be perceived as a bad word, or it could be perceived as what I'm just saying. They wasn't equal in number. We had more guns than them. We had more cars than them. We had more down homeboys than them that would put in work on them, or other sets that was around that area. So I could say, you say a smaller gang. Okay, for instance, here is a hypothetical right here. They had this gang called the Exterminators, and they were over there by Vineyard Park. So one night, this small ass gang that one of my relatives had started had jumped a West Boulevard Crip. So we had a meeting about it. And so I went over there to see what the problem was, because these guys definitely wasn't a factor until that night when they jumped the brother from that set. They became a factor. So you could get on the factor map real quick, or you could get taken off the factor map if I disable your set. Yeah, if I disable your set, now you're not a factor anymore. So the Exterminators were a non-factor, but there were if this gang that was stated as a non-factor, when the question was asked, was there any times when they were a factor? Because I don't win all battles. I never seen any Crip set win all battles. I mean, has anybody ever got jumped out on by this gang? Has anybody ever got beat down by this gang? Then they were a factor at that moment, at that time. Remember I said gang banging, it goes back and forth, depends on which side of the track you on.
Yeah, it's just like a prison yard.
Yeah, that's what I mean by factor. So by saying they not a factor, that's like a global statement. So that's why he took disrespect to it, because it's like we were never a factor. We never won any wars. We gang bang. We had to be a factor on some Crip gang, just like Crips were a factor on their set. Just like when I said I was up at Real Rogers Park and that small little gang, the Haciendas, they became a factor when they jumped me in the park. They became a factor when I rounded up all the Crips at Real Rogers Park and we went that night and fought them some more. I became a factor. You see what I'm saying? So
all right, hey, Q, let me run this past you, and if you can see if like my mentality where I was coming from with it. When I said, I'm not even gonna speak with his set, I'm just gonna speak on sets, period. If you know what I'm saying, if it's a set and I've never out of all my years doing time, like I say, from juvenile hall to prison, if I've never ran across none of y'all, if I'm on the streets, especially if my set is in that vicinity, I've never heard about no, ooh-wee stunts that this set has done, or like being in the county jail or being in jails, period, the Crip module, all surrounding sets that's around that set, I'm in there locked up with them. If I've never heard them speak on, oh, well, they did this, they did that, you know what I'm saying? But I know it's over there, but I've never heard the enemies speak on them. I've never seen on them, nor have I never heard of it. Okay, in my mind, first, okay, well, they ain't really no factor. That's what made me come from that point.
Okay, so you just saying they not a factor in their reputation standpoint at that particular time.
Yeah, I can say, they, as far as their reputation go, from what I know, I'm gonna just say from what I can't speak on what other people know, but from what I know, I've never heard nothing, not a thing. And I mean,
and when Mumpy and when Mumpy threw the question at you, you threw the question at him, and then the word factor came up. Yeah, okay, so you said who said it wasn't a factor? You or the monster?
Mumpy asked me about him. He's like, well, what's up with him? And I say, oh, well, none, they ain't really no factor. I said it.
Okay, then if you said they really ain't no factor, then I'm trying to see why he took offense to it, because the only way you could take offense to that is if his perception
a border gang.
Yeah,
well, I could say, we can all understand. Everybody think that they said is this and that. Everybody feel they said is ooh wee, and nobody wants to hear the next man say, they said ain't no factor, they said ain't no relevant, even if it's true or not. Person just really don't want to hear that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they gonna get mad about it. Because if I was from an 8-man set and we ain't really did nothing, and somebody tell me, oh man, y'all ain't nothing, I would get mad.
Stone, what you got?
I'm just listening, bro. Because to me, it's like man, people too sensitive. If he feel they not a factor, that he's right to his opinion. It's a lot of people that I crossed in my life through that gang making stage that I feel that wasn't a factor, but that don't make them no less than what they were. But when it came to warring with me and my crew at that particular time, they might not have been a factor.
Right.
Grow at different stages. Everybody goes through something at different stages, huh?
That's the same thing Keith was saying. You go through different stages, and somebody that don't go to war with you, they're not gonna think you a factor.
Yeah, look, I'll give you an example. Look at the 7 Prey gangsters in our neighborhood. Now we know to us they really wasn't no factor. Rattlesnake them right around the corner, one but a couple of them. You know what I'm saying? There's no way they could have stood up under that pressure if we wanted to push that pressure toward them, because they was basically in the hood. You know what I'm saying? But they wasn't no factor, so that was just something that we looked over. You know what I mean? But it's just like you can't. Well, in my opinion, I can't say what the next man can't do, but you cannot try to force your truth onto somebody else because you feel. Everybody's truth is based on their experience, bro.
Right.
And especially on this platform, as long as you're being respectful, you should be able to tell your story. You know what I mean? Through your eyes on how you felt. Because I'm quite sure a lot of people don't see my story like I see it, because I see it through my eyes. You know what I mean? My experiences. Like Cutes. I've been knowing Cutes longer than he know me, because I looked up to him at one point, I mean, I still look up to him. You know what I'm saying? But his versions of our hood clash because you know he more biased toward Odie them and you know like teasing them and all that. But those are his experience. I would never disrespect him because we disagree on the founding of the set. You know what I'm saying? You know, so as a black man, especially on your platform, you more respectful. You try to keep the history fact based, right? So when people get in their emotions, man, and then you know it's just like that, bro. I don't know. I wouldn't apologize if I said somebody wasn't a factor because if that's how I felt, it's no disrespect. You know what I'm saying?
Cause let
no disrespect, but you know,
let me ask you this, homie. Let me ask you this. Now, if you now, do you feel like Cuz had a right to be upset about what I said, but in their interview, he said the same exact thing about the hat games. Same exact thing.
Well, I mean, but see, that's where that double-edged sword comes through.
Right.
You know, it ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun.
There you go.
Because in his eyes, the hat gang wasn't no factor.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I could have a problem with they were talking about the 60s of spin off from 9 Deuce Bishops.
Right.
That can be further from the truth.
I was going to say that earlier. I was going to say that earlier when he.
Hey, I wanted to. Hey, Keithstone and Kevin. I was thinking that in my mind right now. He said that for effect to try to provoke a response by making such an idiotic statement like that. I was like, come on, man. We had some cool bishops that turned into the neighborhood, but as far as the neighborhood arriving from the bishops, that's not a true historical statement. And we got real 60s right here who could speak on that.
Yeah, let me hit it real quick, Stone.
Yeah.
Real quick. That's what I was gonna say, and I mentioned on here a few times. People misconstrue the information that they're getting. Never did the 60s come out of the bishops. There were some bishops that joined the 60s.
Exactly.
But
you know, he's referring to like Mark
Bowden,
fucking Lafayette, Kenny Stratton, and they stay like down the street around the corner from me when the set was just forming. You know what I'm saying? But you know, people they just run with the first thing they want to believe. You know, they
right.
You know what I'm saying? You know.
So AJ Stone, how you been doing?
Oh man, I've been good, man. I stay out the way, keep a low profile. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, my homeboy from the East Coast tweet told me you gonna look out for him.
Yeah, you might be talking about J Stone. This Keithstone.
Oh yeah, I was talking about J Stone. Oh, that's Big Keithstone. Yeah. What's up, Keithstone?
Yeah, what's happening, man?
You know, all right, man. I wanted to holler at you. I was in town not too long ago. I was like, man, I wanted to see you, man. I was up at Ladera Park.
Yeah, and anytime, bro. Kev got my hook up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you looking good, man. You look healthy, man.
Thank you, man. I did a 6-mile walk this morning, so I'm sore as a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Hey, it's good. It's good to see brothers that come back from the day like us, and they still got all their mind and they can talk real clear. Man, that's a compliment on being a strong brother, man, because we lived in a hard environment where drugs was very prevalent to a lot of people, but we didn't succumb to them to the point to where we killed our brain cells, man. And I just want to say I look up to you, brother.
Yeah, I look up to all of us, man, because it's like, man, you know, we got more yesterdays than tomorrows, and look how many people that didn't make it to get to this platinum. They're great. You know, look how many got knocked down when we was kids. I mean, it wasn't easy getting here. I mean, we had a lot of decisions to make. We had a lot of luck on our side, man, and we had a whole lot of staying down too. You know what I mean? And
damn right.
That's what people need to realize, man. Especially when you're coming from the beginning. I mean, we went from 6 shots to 100-round clips. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, I be tripping off. Not meaning to change the subject, but I be tripping off like some people don't realize. Like they look back in the 70s, just like I heard them saying it wasn't no war between Bloods and Crips in the 70s. It was always war.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, someone that young, he can't describe the theater if he wasn't in the theater.
There
You know,
you
I
go.
mean,
Right.
he's only going by misinformation, and he's
Right.
spreading more misinformation, which is in history. But we don't even, have to even stoop to that level.
That's what
So,
I'm saying. We don't have to
if
nitpick. We don't need to do that
yeah,
shit.
yeah, but the bottom line is the homie came on. He explained himself real good and clear, and it can't be no clearer than that. So we can move on as far as I'm concerned. It's up to Kev Mac. We got three good brothers here. Four, man, we could start a different topic or we could get cracking on something
All right,
because we got a lot of knowledge here.
the
Hey,
first
Q,
the first
can I ask
topic
you
is
something
Mumpy
real?
said you're not on the yard. Go put his t-shirt on.
Hey,
Yeah.
Q.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Q, let me ask you some old school question real quick.
Yeah.
Do you remember when we had that big meeting at the Academy in Inglewood?
Yeah.
Was you out there? Well, this was
I
like
think
probably about 74, 75, when all the Crips was going up on Manchester to the Academy to kind of like deal with the Inglewood family, because they was a motherfucker back then, but it was basically that. We wasn't
Oh
supposed
yeah, oh yeah. I remember that. What had happened is we called the meeting for everybody to come up there because I got into it with Nasty Ed and them at the Fifth Avenue 2 weeks before, and they had surrounded me and shit. Where they had some guns and shit, and so I told them, I said, okay, so then we're gonna get the Academy show. You guys got the Fifth Avenue, we got to have a show. The Real's not open no more. And so they said, well, man, how you gonna get a show over here? And I said, because, man, it's two shows, man. There's one right here on Fifth Ave. That's Nasty Estate over there. All the heavy hitters were back in that street right there. So I just said, come on, man, we're going to bombard them and we're going to go up to the Academy. We got to have a theater. We kids. We need to watch movies. So they just kept playing the same movie, Sounder, for a whole 2 years and hoped that we would stop coming up to the show. So I said, no, man, we're going to keep coming up to the show. So what had happened when we went to get the show, one day the homegirl from the Inglewood family came up there with 245s and she drew down with them. And she drew 145 and she drew the other one. And she definitely became a factor that day, and they were factors on other days, but we were just kids trying to get territory.
Yeah, I remember because I was like maybe 14 or 15. But the point I was making is like back then, you know what I'm saying? Everybody didn't have a car. So,
Yeah.
and we was in uniform back then with the khakis, the blue rags, the ace deuces, and all that. And we was walking through people's territory. I mean, it took a lot of heart. We might not have a Uzi or a 9-round clip. We might just have your fist or a zip gun made out of bicycle gooseneck. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But so like times change, man. But I was just tripping because I never knew the reason why, or either I forgot why we went up there, because I know all the like Babyface and all us, Big Rick and them, all of us gathered up on Arlington and say we was going up there. I remember we walking up there, you know what I'm saying, and doing what we did. It was just like, I knew you was a part of it. I just had forgot, where that work came from.
Yeah, that was the reason why. And it was like they were the Inglewood family, they were like smashing on the 7-8 hustlers. So the 7-8 hustlers, they never wanted to be Crips because they had got into it with Raymond early on, and Dikey saved Raymond's life, basically. And so when I started the Harsh Man Crips, I said it's only going to be right if we go down here and turn the 7-8 hustler and put Crip on it, So Jan Brewer was pushing up on them real hard, so they was ready to do something about it or defend themselves, but they didn't actually know how. So I gave them a strategic sense, but I also told them if they want any game, they're gonna have to put Crip on that, and they were in agreement. So that's how they became the 7-8 hustler Crips. But it was really just a hustler gang over there. They were all dice shooters,
Yeah,
steel tappers, and whatnot.
That crew over there, Ricky Brown, them all that.
Yo, well, we already know then, yeah.
Yeah, I know the whole crew over there.
Yeah.
You know?
But yeah, man, it's like, man, here we are, man, you know, and I'm like, I mean, all of these gangs, we from Los Angeles. If you made it through Los Angeles and you claiming Crip, you claiming blood, and your set is still here today, and you're still here, and you making sense out of your conversation, then you're a survivor too, you know. And I got respect for OGs. I got in the joint. I had respect for convicts. If you was a convict, then you're gonna get my respect because convicts respect each other, you know. And that's how it was, man. You know, here on the street should be the same way, man. You know, and
how old is Stone?
I'm 62.
Yeah.
Excuse me for cutting you off, homie. But you how old?
62.
Yeah.
God dang, cuz I didn't know you was that old.
Yeah, I'm 62. You know what I mean? That's why I said I've been around for a while. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, but like I respect all real dudes, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, I mean, because that's just how I come up with. You know what I'm saying? I respect a lot of those Inglewood families, even though those was our first real war. You know, like the V&Gs might take it some kind of way because the Van Ness boy, we had little squabbles with them, but the Inglewood families is the one who made my crew, my generation, the way we were because they used to come at us. I mean, they didn't stop, and we didn't stop, and they was arrogant like we was arrogant. They'll come across Florence to a party, we'll go to the 70s to a party. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, and then it was like, man, and they was dealing with the A-Trays, us, you know, because we was all trying to get at them dudes, you know what I'm saying? And it was, you know, so it prepared us for a lot of other different stuff, you know what I'm saying? Because I mean, you know, but I give them, I give it I'm like Chips, I give any real dude the respect. You know, as far as gangs, you know, gangs are gangs, man. But inside those gangs, I get a real dudes, real respect. Like I was telling your cousin, a cartoon. See, you don't know the first time I seen you, but the first time I seen you was like about 86. I was coming through the county jail. I was on my way to the 4800. It was you and a dark-skinned brother, Slim. Y'all was still in them orange jumpsuits, and it was just your presence. I was like, damn, I wonder where dude from. I mean, it just stood out. You know what I'm saying? I'm just checking you out, you know what I mean? Or whatever, you know, I was in another cell or whatever, but I was on my way to 4800. I didn't know where you was from at that time. It was just your presence that I felt that, you know, I just felt strength, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Or whatever. You had that big fro, you know what I mean? You look like
yeah, back then, yeah.
You was looking that part, you know what I mean? Because coming through there, it was a lot of like when I first started going to the county jail, everybody was on the main line. Q's can tell you that. You know what I'm saying? And like it was some bloods back then that wore their rags, but there's a lot of them that didn't. You know what I'm saying? So like I respect those dudes like Bruno them from Harvard, 6 dudes. All of them, Rainbow from Fruittown, all them dudes was wearing their rags, but a lot of them didn't. You know what I'm saying? So and this might be controversial, but in my opinion, when 4300 happened, you know, then they really got strong because now it was like they had some place to kind of like, you a blood, I'm a blood. You know what I'm saying? And they realized how they were. Because, I mean, back then, man, you had, I mean, flagging in the county jail, you know what I'm saying? Like, even when I was in the 79 when Tucky was in there, you know, we still was wearing blue rags. I don't care if you was a Crip, you still going to go through the motion because you might end up in a cell with anybody. You know, Mexican, white, whatever, so you got to stay down. So, I just want to say I commend all the real niggas, you know what I'm saying? I ain't do a lot of time, but if you was real and solid, you know, you got to give them, no matter where they from. You know what I mean? Niggas
hey, that's just like you say, on a realness on an individual basis or realness on a set level. Because that's just like back in the 80s when we used to go at it with the Swans real heavy. I mean, you know, I can honestly say, you know what I'm saying, that I give everybody their props they do if they earned it. And you had, I mean, the Swans set in the middle. You got the Avalon Guards, you got 7-6 East Coast, 6-9 East Coast, you got the Kitchens, you got the 8-9 East Coasters. They sat right in the middle of all of us.
Yeah.
And man, I'm gonna be the first to tell you, man, them cats gave us problems, man.
Yeah.
Them cats gave us some real problems. I'm like, man, god dang. Shoot.
Yeah, they was real. The homie stayed a big seat up, stayed on town in 78. So, we used to go through there and like, man, it'd be like, it is what it is. Holla at G-Man, them from East Coast and all them dudes and Jew Rock them. Yeah, them swines are all, but like, that's just real shit. That's just LA. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But if you really ask me how I would feel if I could turn back the clock, I would rather for all us brothers to stay solid and stick together, man. Because divided has always made us weaker than we are. Because we as a people, we some strong people, but we always been in different tribes. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I mean? And I don't know. I guess it's time to push past that, man. That's why
Well, I concur 100% with that statement right there. I noticed that a lot of these platforms, like the ones that the police are doing, or the ones that some type of person who really don't like black unity are doing, and they try and say this gang is against that gang, why this gang isn't with that gang, and all of that kind of stuff. I think reiterating dissension is a tool that's being used to keep people like-minded people, because we all alike. We were in the gang banging mentality. We all alike because we were only killing people like us. So coming around this late in the game and you still see that popping up, it's like, okay, who's benefiting from that? That's not cool. Any gang member that I ever made friends with that was a rival, I made peace with him through some other, event in the county jail, on the street, in camp, or in the penitentiary. So to say that this is my sworn enemy and I'm gonna always hate them, that's kind of elementary. That was my elementary mindset. That's what I used to believe. But as time went by, I realized that that's all that was. It was more of a figment of my imagination, because circumstances changed me. Conditions, my conditioning changed through other events, with these other gang members. So I can honestly say today, that I don't embrace that, anymore. So when I see these other stations that put that up there, I look at that as, you're trying to affect the young mind. You're trying to keep them stuck in that mentality, that destruction. And pretty soon the blinders are going to come off, and they're going to look at that channel for what it was, just a channel to keep the black man down, to keep the Mexican down, and a lot of these channels are designed to do just that, because the vacancy sign is always going to be on in the county jail and in the penitentiary. But
no question.
Let me stop you. That's like you said earlier, that other people in other channels, they acted out, and Cartoon and Mump's reaction was natural. It was organic. It wasn't.
Yeah, wasn't a skit.
Right.
It was no skit involved. But I got a question for all y'all. Q's first, Cartoon second, Stone third. Excuse me for putting you third. I should have made Cartoon third.
It's all good.
You're going by age.
Hey, always kicked in. I'm like third.
It went through my mind. I just didn't say nothing.
When we had that mentality, I caught it quick. All the violence on the streets and in prison, you have all endured. Do any of you deal with PTSD like military soldiers?
Okay, I'm first.
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed sometimes, and if you notice it, you're in control of it. I noticed sometimes I could become real angry. It's like I grew up in a room full of lead paint, and I remember when I was a little kid, I would have these little fits of rage when I was real little, and I didn't know why, and I would get real mean, and I would be easily agitated. And the doctor told me later on those were the effects of the lead paint. And he says, how do you deal with that today? And I said, well, I used to act out on it. I would blame it on someone outside of myself for giving me the feeling. And then I would, assault that person. And he said, yeah, you realize that's wrong, right? I said, yeah, I realize it's wrong, but sometimes people say fucked up shit to you, But he said, well, it's your perception of the event that causes you to be angry. It's not the event itself. I said, okay, that's fine. And Danny, let me process that. Let me come to grips with that. But yeah, man, post-traumatic stress syndrome, I don't take any medicine for it. I don't get any benefits from it. Fact of the matter is, if I would have admitted to it, to the psych when we were making our psych report, I'd probably still be locked up if I was forthcoming with some of my, disorders and shit. But I got it under control. I don't get high to suppress it. I'm not acting out violently. I have skill to be violent, but I don't use them. I'm just out here chilling, going to work, maintaining and keeping my seat out here in society, because this is the longest I've ever been free in my life. And, I've been locked up over half of my life. So.
All right, let's go. Cartoon, do you suffer any PTSD from gangbanging?
From gangbanging or jail?
Jail, prison, gangbanging?
No, you know what? I can't really say. Every now and then I still wash. My wife, she got to stop me from washing my drawers in the shower.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah. I still get in the shower with my shower shoes on.
Damn.
Yeah, she can't understand that one. And I still put toilet paper on the toilet seat, even though it's mine. I don't know. It just.
Do you spit in the sink? Hey, do you spit in the toilet when you brush your teeth?
Yeah, right there next to it. And
man, me too.
Yeah, I get on her about like having water around the sink. I'm like, man, you got to clean that up. You got to. She like, what? And like if I'm talking every now and then, I might say, man, I'm finna go to the cell. And she'd be like, baby, your room. I'll be like, yeah, my room.
Do you ever have a spoon in your pocket?
No. She tell me I still eat too fast at the restaurants, like somebody gonna take my food or something.
I took the spoon out the restaurant, dog. Made it all the way to my car.
Dang. Most of my mental trauma that I went through as far as jail goes was while I was in there. Because I can literally say, while I was in there, I didn't care nothing about coming home. Period. I didn't care if you know what I'm saying. I did an interview last night with PGN News, and I was telling them, like, when I left Pelican Bay, one of the homies, one of the Rips got stuck by the Mahindas, by the Mexicans, and I was hot about that. That's I take that real offensive. But anyway, sometimes they'll wreck themselves, and I'm telling the homie, my celly Crip Carol from schoolyard, I'm like, cuz if they wreck these gates, we taking off. You know what I'm saying? We got some next door. And he was like, man, Toon, you going home in the morning? I'm like, cuz, no, man, I'm not home. My mentality was I'm not home till I get there. If they did something to the Rips and I'm on the yard, I'm taking off point blank. And my mind was like, dang, you got a chance to go home, go home. But I was like, man, bump home. I want to get them. So I had to get rid of that mentality.
Hey, Mumpy said you had PTSD before you even went to prison.
Mumpy ain't got good sense already. You know what I'm saying? He that come from falling on his head at Rosecrans skating ring too much.
Where's Wham?
Man?
To be honest, bro, I really don't know. Because I probably do, because I've always been good at putting everything in compartments. I can't even say the word now.
Compartmentalizing.
Yeah, put whatever. You know what I'm saying? But like, I'm quite sure it affects us all, because now I do have dreams. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I remember I was having one of them gangbanging dreams. Even when I was a youngster, I had one, right? Because I was into so much stuff, to whereas my girl walked in the door, and all I heard the door open, and I was asleep on the couch. I used to have a shotgun under my bed. I'm under the couch. So I reached under the couch and wasn't there, and I just drove her to the door. And she just started calling my name to just get me up out of that fog I was in. So I'm quite sure that I went through it. Have I healed from it? I don't know, because I still have those dreams right now where I'm in different hoods. You know what I'm saying? And I'm 62 years old. You know what I mean? I didn't do a lot of time, but when I did do time, I was serious about it. You know what I mean? I kept being burner all the, everything that we do in there. You know what I'm saying? And so to say that I do or don't have PSD, I probably do. And just brush it off. Like
it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. You just, long as we're aware of it and it's not controlling us and we control it, we're gonna be all right. But if you're not aware of it and then it's controlling you, then it's like you came home from the war and your mama says, don't go in the room with your uncle. Your uncle's crazy. The door's locked. He's tripping. That's when it controls you like that.
Yeah, but it's certain things that I guess you can say trauma. It's just certain things that we went through just out of survival instincts. If a car backfire, if a door opens,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Or a car come down the street, my head's still on a swivel. I don't trust nothing.
Hey, at the funeral, when them balloons first start busting, everybody was jumping and ducking and everything.
Man. I remember there was a time when I used to go to stores, you know what I mean? And people say, man, hey, what's up, homie? What's up, Stone? I know you, man. And I say, what, good or bad? You know what I'm saying? Because I've seen so many faces, been through so much stuff. It's just something that, in order to survive, I don't know. I guess that's just how we adapt. You know what I mean?
You know what, Kev? You tapped on something that I've never heard nobody. You might want to get deeper into that. I ain't never heard nobody, ever ask that question about, our gang experience. If you know what I'm saying, especially for those that I'm gonna say are, let's say between the ages of 55 and older. What type of mental state are we in right now today behind that? And I never thought about that. I've never even, what I'm saying, I took it as face value. You know what I'm saying? When you pull you might be driving and you don't want to go to that gas station because it's over here, or this store, or a car, like you say, car come down the street. You watching it like a hawk, you know what I'm saying? Or back when we was younger, a car would come down the street and you get behind a tree, and as it go this way, you go this way on the tree till it got back. You searching to see. You searching to see if the brake lights come on. All that, I never even looked at that, because to me it was just natural. It was a way of life. But now, you know what? Dang, I ain't never thought about that, homie. You might have hit on something. We might have, what I'm saying, long lasting, mental trauma behind what we went through coming up in that gang world, especially back then. Because this gang world today ain't nothing. But what it was back then, I can see it doing some type of mental damage to us. Never even thought about that.
Hey, dude, you probably just started another controversy, because these youngsters out here now, they hear you say that.
Right.
You're right. Hey, I don't mean nothing to you youngsters. I take it back. Y'all, wear your skinny jeans and your backpacks. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it.
Hey, I mean, I shouldn't even say this, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Who gives a fuck? But look, to me, a lot of them is like the emotional kids. You know what I mean? Emojis. Because I mean, like even back then, man, we put some thought. Even if you was going to put in some work, you gave some thought to it, and you might have gave certain people passes in certain situations, right? Or you may not. Me personally, I gave a few passes. I'm not gonna down you with your kid or none of that kind of shit. But
right.
Knock your noodles out, bro, over the slightest little thing. You know what I'm saying? That's just what I see. I hope I'm seeing something that's just not there. Maybe I'm putting too much on it, but I just like, man, they so sensitive, they can't take an ass whooping no more. You know what I'm saying? None of that. So I don't know. I just hope that they can see that their future is a lot brighter. You know what I'm saying? They don't have as much to prove, because they don't have to walk from one side of town to the other or go to this park. I mean, it's a lot. They got a lot of opportunities, man, to do the right thing. If they learn. You know what I mean? That's the strongest word in the vocabulary. That's a word we didn't say too much. It was like, let's go.
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know. Because I never thought about that PSD situation.
Me neither, homie.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, Stone, you still looking behind cars and shit when you come out the bar or the club?
Man, I always do. That's something ain't gonna never change. You know, I was one of them cats that walked around the corner with his pistol in his hand. I ain't gonna do nothing. You know what I'm saying? You know, I didn't trust no driveways or none of that because it's just that experience that we live when you had them cats jumping out of bushes on us. You know what I'm saying? Hide, like, you know, on them little short blocks, you had them garages that's dented in, and all you can see is the fence, and then the garage sit back. They used to be from my experience, made me like that. You know what I mean? Right. You know, just like anybody else, man. Everybody heard the butterflies fly by their head. Them old bullets sounded like butterflies. You know what I'm saying? So if you wasn't aware back then, I mean, you know, you gotta survive, bro. You got it's not being scared or nothing like that. You know, everybody scared, but you're just not fearful. You know what I'm saying? You don't fear being scared. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're not scared, you're a damn fool.
Right.
Like being fearful, you're gonna do what you're gonna do, but you better have sense enough to expect the unexpected and and all that. You know what I mean? Don't never, like they say back in the day, don't never underestimate nothing that might come your way, man. And just try to be the best person that you can be. You know what I'm saying? That's how I see it. You know?
Cartoon, you know Mump and your sister-in-law about to get on you.
Why?
Hey, what is that? What kind of cat you got?
It's just a lovable cat. That's all I know. I love her.
Man, I had a cat in the joint, dog.
Man, hey, this might sound racist, but when I was in the feds in 79 and 80, they had cats at Terminal Islands when the agents got there, and I know that I ain't trying to be racist or nothing. But them cats here, I'll tell you that.
Man, I ain't gonna lie. I was in Chino. Look, I was in Chino and it was a white dude on the tier named Catman. And he had a cat. And I wanted this cat. I used to mess with the cat, and he was like, "Hey man, give me my cat back. Give me my cat back." And I'd mess with it and just do all type of stuff to the cat. And he'd tell me quit. I guess he got sick of me. Man, you know that, man. I look up one day and he didn't get me good because I kind of said one of the homies like, "Cuz, look out." And I looked and he had the key, he had the knife, and he caught me across the chest with it, but I stepped back. And we went from there with the situation, but it was all about me messing with his cat.
Yeah.
Damn. Now that's a psychopath. That motherfucker. Sorry, that dude was a psychopath.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all to keep asking about Mump. This is the best I could do for y'all when I was in LA, man.
My guy, the monster.
Yeah, young Mumpy. I guess Mumpy's busy right now.
Man, the homies was on Mumpy. They gave Mumpy a speech, man. You got 600 KM video people waiting for your interview. You keep saying next Thursday.
I don't know what's wrong with Mumpy. I don't know why he don't show up.
Mump works on Mumpy's time. When Mumpy's ready, Mumpy gonna do it.
Yeah. That's a trip, man.
And they love
Mumpy walked off a lot of years with me, man.
Yeah.
He was a kid.
Hey, let me ask you this. What was he like in there with you? What was he doing?
We all met up in the LA County jail. It was me, Mumpy, Big Odie, and we would all be in the holding tanks together going, getting our route to go to court. And so me and Mumpy became friends inside of the holding. Mumpy lived down the street from me, first of all. So we became friends in the county jail. And then I don't know, Mumpy did something to end up in Folsom because you just don't go to Folsom. So Mumpy was in level 4. And I think Mumpy got to Folsom before I got there, or I got there before he got there. And so we had a little Folsom Crip gang, and Mumpy was in that. And it was Bruno Bitterdog, me, Mumpy. It was like 10 of us. And we were representing Crip. We had our blue rags on, and I was talking shit to everybody, not them, but to everybody want to fuck with Crips, you know. And it was we had a few knives and shit, and I was trying to push a hard line and end up going to 4A for some shit. But Mumpy was always down, but Mumpy always knew how far to go with me. He knew. He say, wait a minute. Maybe some people don't want to get out of prison at all. You know, but Mumpy had an old lady that would come and see him. Mumpy had more Mac than I had. He had someone that fell in love with him that would run for him and stay with him from the jump, you know, and to the you know that saying, till the wheels fall off.
Yeah.
Mumpy really had someone in his corner until the wheels fall off. Because you know, once you come with an L, the wheels then fell off.
Mumpy always been a Mac. That was king of the ditching parties. I remember that being Fee in sometime. Me and Big Fee come up there, they wouldn't let us in. You know what I mean? Yeah, Mumpy always was a Mac. And crack jokes on your ass too. When I ran across him in Soledad, I was just getting out the hole in Central. I'm going to the dentist or some doctor or some shit. First thing he do was crack a joke, had me hot as a bank robber's pistol. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's my guy though, man.
He always had a lot of energy.
What year did you leave Soledad?
88.
You was in Central?
Yep, Central F Wing.
Me and you we was there together. I was in G Wing.
Yeah, I left there in like maybe June. It was June, July, something like that.
Was Earthquake there?
Nah, Stag was there. It was a bunch of people there. You know, Lunatic Frank. There was a bunch of people up in there. You know, from us, Black Dog, them, Scraps from Schoolyard. I forgot the dude from A-Tray. Kenny that came from A-Tray. He was there. He like my so-called cousin. Him and that's when Top Dollar got shot in F Wing. Because we was both supposed to be going home that night. He won't go lock it up. He wanted to be the last one to leave the yard. And so Kenny came in there, rest in peace from A-Tray. He came in there and looked at my cell to make sure I was in my cell, you know, on the third tier. Then he went down, waited on Top Dollar to come in. They end up squabbling and shit. The guns go off, Top Dollar gets shot in the foot. Then he had to, you know, you can't leave the pen once you get hurt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, that last 6 months there, I was on some bullshit because moms had died on Christmas of '87.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
It was just I couldn't really release nothing. So every time I hit the yard, I was into some bullshit and be right back locked down. And so when I finally from December, if I wasn't fucking with Black Dog and getting like on CTQs, I was doing some other shit. You know what I mean? Taking off on the yard on somebody. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, finally got up out that motherfucker. But yeah.
Hey, what Black Dog Keithstone are you referring to?
The one rest in peace from 111.
Man, that was my best friend, man. Yeah.
Man, I think me and Black Dog went to continuation school in Compton together.
Oh, is that right? Yeah.
Yeah.
He was another practical joker too, man. That motherfucker used to have us laughing like a motherfucker, man.
Yeah, he was on as soon as the door opened, he had you cracking up.
Yeah.
Black Dog, man.
Yeah, I mean, but we're in that platinum club. All of us got gray in our beards. You know what I mean? You know?
Yeah.
Hey.
It's all good.
Everybody sounds sharp, looking good, man. I like that, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we got clear minds.
Yeah.
That's right.
Kev Mac.
Yeah.
Now you know I got to bring this up. You got on my head real tough about not having a shirt on, but now you ain't told Q nothing.
Remember I told him Mumpy told him to put a shirt on.
Hey, Cartoon.
Yeah.
I got Wi-Fi, right? So anytime Kev go live, it comes into my phone. So I said, oh, fuck. Excuse my language. I got Wi-Fi. So I said, oh, man, I got Wi-Fi. If I could go on and kick it with Cartoon and Kev Mac. So boom, you know, I said, let me dial in the number of the Wi-Fi. So I didn't get a chance to to put on my Crip uniform, you know. So
Right.
yeah.
Man, I've been wanting you to come in because now it's usually, Rockhead, he done jumped in before. I'm like, man, one of these days Q's gonna, you know what I'm saying? Gotta get him on because I done seen you so much. I'm like, I gotta get on there with OG once or twice.
Yeah, for sure. That's the way it is. Everybody thought I was gonna be upset at my homeboy because he said Keithstone, Q can't talk about the 60. And then I'm like, who's that, Mumpy?
Yeah.
Oh, let Mumpy talk.
Hey, what's happening, man?
Hey,
Man, where you been, man?
Been sitting here tinkering. You know what I tinker with.
Pretty boy.
Huh?
What's up?
Yeah.
Pretty boy and Mumpy.
I said I've been sitting here tinkering with things. You know what I be tinkering with.
Either
hear
the
y'all.
guitar or models.
Nah.
Huh?
Oh, I know what you be tinkering with. I ain't gonna say it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say it.
Hey,
I know.
Kev.
Yeah.
Man, look here. I'm loving this, homie, because now, I mean, other than you, everybody on here older than me. So I'm like, okay, these some guys, these some Crips for real. You know what I'm saying? These the ones paved the way for me. So
Right.
I'm loving this. You feel me?
Right.
It's cool. For sure.
Mom, they
This is
say
cool.
they were searching for you.
Hey, I can't hear you.
We hear you. Go ahead. We hear you.
I'm finna just be brief because I'm fixing to do something. I'm finna go get something to eat for me and wife. But I'm gonna tell y'all about this PTSD shit. I'm gonna tell you about this shit because I got this shit. I'm gonna let you know how it affects me. But she said you can ask her, but you ain't gonna be able to ask her. But you don't know what my PTSD is?
What?
Like when I get ready to go and leave the house and my wife is sitting on that couch by that front door, I feel like I'm going next to a guard trying to get out the building, man. Like that's the type of shit that I'm going through. Like I don't like nobody asking me where I'm going. I just don't like being questioned, man. And that's because of all them years being in prison.
Yeah.
You know, it's almost like I need a ducky just to go somewhere.
Yeah, Ducky.
Hey,
Y'all can relate to that shit. Y'all just don't want to say it.
Nah,
Hey,
Mom, I go through that shit every night.
hey, look, we see through that, Mom. Don't be trying to use the platform and use us so you can beef with your wife. No, you got to keep that at the house.
Oh no, I'm finna go get us something to eat. We finna go eat.
She gonna question you, homie, and you got to put up with it. That's just that.
Hey, much Crip love to you, Mumpy. How you
Hey, how
been?
you doing, Q, man? I still ain't seen you since I've been home yet, man.
Man, when I come back to LA, I'm gonna find you and Pretty Boy, and we'll go get something to eat all together.
Look, it's one. What is it? 1, 2, 3. Man, there's 4 of us, man. Over here, we've been seeing each other since we was like kids, man.
We were kids.
Me and you,
Yeah.
Pretty and Keithstone.
Yeah, we were kids. Yeah, we were kids.
Yeah.
And it was cool. We've been friends ever since day one. That's what's
Day
cool.
one.
From day
Yeah.
one.
Hey, listen. I was telling Kev Mac yesterday at the funeral, at the homie funeral, that Melvin former skull. Look, that's my big homie.
Yeah, he
You know what I'm
stayed
saying?
he
I
stayed
don't know
right
how
there
nobody
with us.
else look at him, but that's how I look at him. Like
Yeah.
that's my
Yeah.
big homie.
Yeah.
That's the real solid OG homeboy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
We were
that's
all
because they don't
Horseman
know
Crips.
the history and the connection and the ties that we all have with one another.
Exactly.
See, they only know about the division. They don't know about the love.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah,
Big
they.
Devil and all them. Big
Yeah.
Devil, I say, them was our guys, man. You know, we used to stay on 71st over there gambling and shit with Trey Ball, 8 Ball, and all the rest of them. Devil, all of them. You know what I'm saying?
Look, going on 69th, watching Q lift weights in the backyard.
Yeah.
He thought he was a young Hulk back then.
Yeah.
Q kicked him.
Hey, you remember his two-tone leather coat? And
You know, him and Lil Took and all them, they thought they was little Hulks.
Yeah, we had the black and gray two-tone. Black and gray waistline.
With his two-tone leather coat, two-tone.
Don't forget the leather hat.
Yeah, Dutch boy, leather Dutch boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
And we were
Mom,
clean.
Hey,
did you know Cuse was on Soul Train?
man, Q wasn't no dancer, man.
Yes, he was on the record.
No, he wasn't.
I
My
know.
homeboy
I know
wasn't no
Melvin
dancer,
Corbin
man.
used to be a
Hey,
pop
hey,
locker.
hey, Cuse, what dance was you doing?
I did the four corners, homie. That was the only dance out there. I started to do the crip walk, but I didn't want to get kicked out the studio.
What's the four corners?
You gotta watch Soul Train. You see it.
What
That's the
year? I'm
dance me
finna
and
Google
Tiff
that.
would do. It's like a crip dance.
What year
You
was
take
it? I'm
one
finna
leg,
Google that.
you kick your biscuit to the left, and you leave it there for a minute, and you bring it back in. Then you kick the other biscuit
I
to the
just-
right, and you lean.
But let me say this, because I'm really am doing something. But listen, I made a promise, so I got to adhere to my promise and maintain my obligation. If not Monday, Tuesday for sure, I'm gonna come and do what they call it. I guess I'm a clown for some reason, so I guess I'm just gonna come and be a clown. I'm gonna come and entertain some folks.
Hey, Mom.
No,
Hey,
you
Hey,
ain't a
Mom.
clown. You got that charisma that everybody like, and you got all the stories that some people not willing to tell. So,
Hey,
Yeah,
Mom.
Mumpy.
Hey,
You
Mom.
got wisdom, Mumpy. You got
Mom.
wisdom.
Better believe it.
Hey,
Hey,
Mom.
they
You
ain't
know
got,
you
hey,
got that
Q,
charisma,
like
but
you
you know
said,
your
they ain't
jokes
gotta worry
get people
about
in
me no
trouble.
more back up in there.
Hey,
Hell
It's
no.
me
Hey,
again.
Mumpy, if it wasn't for you, Kool-Aid, Wally Gator, and Youngster, and Bam, I probably would have went crazy because I wouldn't have had no friends at all.
Yeah. Yeah, we was the only friends you had.
Talking about
Yeah.
Leon.
Hey, I be thinking about Kool-Aid, man. I don't know where Kool-Aid is at.
Kool-Aid lives in New York now, and he's doing good. And every blue moon, he'd call me.
Oh, okay.
He's
Hey,
doing
where
it. Told me
Lil
that
Bam
our
at?
homeboy
Fuck, where
passed
Lil
away.
Bam at?
Hey,
Little
Mumpy.
Bam's out too, but I ain't got that Little Bam
Oh
yet.
yeah, I just spoke with Lil Bam a few times.
Hey,
So,
Well,
hey, Mom.
tell him to holler at me, Mom. I ain't seen Lil Bam since I visited him in the county jail when he first caught that robbery.
Yeah, I got his
Before they
hook
caught
up and
that
stuff.
case.
Come on,
tell
pretty
Little
kill it with
Bam
the
I send my
machine
love.
gun.
Hey, Mom. Hey, Mumpy.
Hey,
Hey, do me a favor. Look, I ain't gonna be able to come out in May because my job say they gonna fire me. They won't let me have a time off. But now when my wife come out there, I'm gonna send her to you. Hey, man, I want you to take her to Southgate, the Greenspan, homie. And I already told her she got the money. I want a black and a blue Charlie Brown shirt, and I want a pair of brown and black Crocker sacks. They still sell them. So go on, hook me up. Get that for me.
you ain't gonna let go, huh?
Let go of what?
You just ain't gonna stop, huh?
Man, that's how I dress, fool. What you tripping on?
Pretty boy, what is that?
Huh?
Is that you?
Nah, I ordered that offline, right?
Yeah, that's clean.
All the way to the. It's detailed all the way to the last.
But is it you?
No, But I remember I was talking about doing that thing. Man, they charge
Yeah.
$300 for that shit each.
Man, we're gonna do it out of toilet paper.
Yeah, hey, because they hit me up on
Listen,
the
I got
email,
something I
right?
gotta do, man.
all right, Mom.
Huh?
Peace.
All right, Mumpy.
All right, Mom.
Yeah. Man,
but
that was
Oh
good.
shit, I kicked him out.
That was the first time I got to talk to Mumpy since we've been home.
I know I haven't seen you, Cuse. We gotta hook up, man.
Man, as soon as I come to LA, Mumpy, I'll probably come when Kev Mac's down there too. And man, I'm gonna see you, Mumpy. Don't trip, dog. We're gonna see each other.
Oh, wait a minute. Kev Mac, let me throw this in. I'm glad it came to my mind. Cute.
Yeah.
Man, I gotta take us back. I gotta take us back to the topic we was on at first. I just remember something. Hey, look, at one time I was mad at you too.
Why?
I was mad at you, big homie.
What did I do?
Man, look, you was talking about it was on one of your interviews, and you was talking about when Jamel first came up to Washington.
Yeah.
And something had happened. he didn't want to peel out what took or something he would did. But you had told me like, look, you said they was asking, well, who was he? And you told me, oh, he from some little projects over there called the Avalon Guard.
Oh, yeah. I was wrong for saying that. I'm like Mumpy. I was working with my feelings. I got feelings. I could admit that I was wrong.
Man, hey,
because
the big homie that lost his mind though.
Yeah, Iron Man was my road dog. You know, Jamel's first cousin. You know, we be together every day. And I'm not mad at Jamel's. I'm mad at Jamel's behavior.
I'm mad at him.
Well, I'm not mad at him because he's a human being. So his behavior pissed me off. You know.
Right.
You know, so that was just his behavior. You know, because he know better.
Yeah, he did. You know, he did too much though, man. He said too much, and he made us look bad. I'm talking about he made us look bad as a whole.
Yeah, but that's why I made that statement. I wasn't trying to offend all of my homeboys out of that Crip, you know, area
no.
right
I'm
there.
just clowning. I'm just clowning
toward him.
Yeah, I'm just clowning.
But yeah, hey, Cartoon, I used to be up in there, right? So I would go up in there all the time, and I remember they would give out these lunches. So I'm hungry as fuck. So I said, man, I'm going up in there now. They giving out lunches now. So I went in there and got my little lunch. I parked my 4 out on the busy street, and me and Iron Man had went up in there. And I was like, man, I've been here before when I was a little kid, and now I'm back in here now, and I got that same, you know, the feeling you get when you go inside of the project?
Yeah.
It's a feeling that you get. And man, you can only experience that feeling if you've been in there. And you get the same feeling if you've been in the Pueblos, the Nickerson, or anywhere, man. But with California is the only place that got projects like the way that we had them.
Right.
Nowhere else has them like that.
You ain't never came and hung out in South Park?
Yeah, I live by South. Hey, homie, I grew up on 52nd and Avalon. I used to run with Black Johnny, the OG that started cassette over there.
Yeah, for real?
Yeah.
Man, how you get away from us?
Well, we moved.
moved.
My daddy moved us over in 1960. We moved on 68th Street. Homie, 52nd Elementary School. It had a tunnel that went up underground so kids could cross the street.
Right.
Yeah, I used to go in the tunnel.
Yeah.
The homie Q's killed me when he talk about being in the Outlaws and Avalons. He was a baby.
Yeah, I was a little baby. I was a baby. I was a baby outlaw.
No.
Yeah, I used to throw up the outlaw sign like this East Side Outlaw sign when I was a kid. And we grew up on 18th Street, right off of Central.
Oh, you was way down up in there then.
Oh man, I was in the low bottoms of the low bottoms. The leader of the outlaws on my block was a big old dude named Butchie. He went with my auntie. He's the one that indoctrinated me with being an outlaw when I was a little kid.
Right.
He would say, "You're gonna be an outlaw. You this, you that." He would show me his guns and shit. He'd be lifting weight. He was crazy. I don't know what happened to Butchie. Years later, I met Donna Ray. That was a Big Sugar Bear's first cousin. So at the long table, we would always bank over there and get Donna Ray. When I was in Avalon, I used to hang out with Hatchet Man. Black Johnny, Hatchet Man. There was a lot of good Donna Ray.
You talk about little short Donald Ray?
Yeah.
That's the homie Fats.
Yeah.
Hey, guess
Number
what?
What?
Yeah. I live in Alabama right now. And the Donald Ray you talk about, the homie, he stayed about 5 minutes from me.
Hey, well, ask him, do he remember me? And we used to be up at the long table and shit. He might remember me.
Okay.
It's been a long time. I remember him because he was a factor. He was down.
Right. Man, you supposed to stay on the east side, homie.
I always respect the east side because my thug originated from the east side.
Right.
You know, a lot of the brothers who ended up on the west side came from the east side, and we all came from the south.
Right, for real.
Yeah.
Man. What's up, Stone? I know you want to say something.
No, I'm just back, man. You know me. I like listening to shit. I'll just be listening to, everybody because I've been all over the city too. You know what I mean? I used to be up in South Park. There ain't all some 60s though. I used to be up there.
When?
In the late 70s, early 80s. I used to stay on 57th and Main. So we used to go up there. I used to go up there when they had that Heathen ride up there. You know what I mean? Make my little bread up there.
Did you ever go? Hey,
to
Stone.
play dominoes right across the street from the liquor store.
Yeah.
Like the bitches right there. I used to be over there playing dominoes. And I used to sell work right there on Avalon down there by the duplexes right before you get to Vernon. Right, it's a hamburger stand now, but it used to be a different kind of a gas station or something like that.
It's right before you get to the gas station.
Yeah, the duplexes right there.
Right.
All right. Let's talk about the businessmen.
Just like anywhere else until it got hot. They was like, oh man, they over there selling. Man, they can't be able to get this bread. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I go. You know. Yeah.
Hey, how all five of us lived on the east side at one point?
Yeah, I know, man.
Hey, history about South Park in that area. All right. So Barry White and his brother and them, they would be in the park. When I would be in there with my father, they'd be in there playing the congos. They had just made the caged-in area where they play the dominoes. They had just built that. Across the street with South Park was a clinic. That's where all the kids would go and get that shot in their arms when they would shoot us up with the mercury and shit. Down the street, we used to go to Wrigley's Field and play out on the field and play Pop Warner. I guess it was Pop Warner football. Play up in there and ride Street King steel skates up in there. And coming back up the other way, my daddy worked in the red brick spring factory that had a cooker up in there, and it was so hot in there where he'd be in there working all day. Across the street from that was a soda pop place with the little Eskimo head. We used to go in there and steal soda, go through the alley and shit. But yeah, man, we were little kids over there having fun, man.
So
Man,
I got a question for all y'all. It's from one of the viewers. Who was each of y'all's worst individual rival? Not the gang, but a member. Go ahead, Q's.
Oh shit! I would get into it with Terry Cadeau. I would always fight Van Ness boys my age. So the guy who would give me the best spade would be Butchie's brother. Little Butchie's big brother.
How about you, Cartoon?
You know what? I want to say Swanee Fly from Villain, because well, look here, hey man, listen. I think he got a cousin from 9-7 East Coast, and I used to try to trick his cousin into tricking him over there, and I'd not tell him I was there because I would go, ooh man. But anyway, I want to say him, but you know what? I'm gonna say Moonshine from Villain. I'm gonna have to say him because boy, look, I gave him everything I had. Boy, I don't know if my aim was off every time. I don't know what it was, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and skip Swanee Fly. I'm gonna say Moonshine from Villain.
How about you, Stone?
I really don't have no one individual because I was always into some bullshit. You know, I don't have no one individual that I could just point to.
What about that boy that lived by Big Cat? Ricochet. What about Ricochet?
Well, Ricochet, I mean, we all, like with the Inglewood families, we all went at each other, border rats, all that, but Ricochet was a little different because he used to come on my block, you know what I'm saying? But me and him, even though we used to shoot at each other all that, we had a lot of mutual respect. Like I told you, the last time I seen him personally was in the county jail. I'm coming through there with blue khakis on, blue sweatshirt and all that shit, and he in there with nothing Crips, and he threw up the neighborhood sign to me. But I made sure he got through that. I'm talking to him. all the Crips that was my enemies at that time. That was in the 80s. He was, but we weren't. That war with them was still going, but not like with some of the cats that was in there, right? So you know what I mean. And then I had mutual respect for him for how we get out. I know he was a real dude. You know what I'm saying? And some of them dudes I'd never seen him before. It was a couple people from Compton and others. But so it's a lot of. I mean, it's a lot of for that. I mean, if you go to the 8 trade wars, I just don't like speaking on certain people.
Right.
Dead.
What about you, boy?
I don't want to be personal when it wasn't personal.
Right.
When it's more business and than personal. You know what I mean?
Right.
But if I'm coming at you, it's not because it's a personal thing. You might have done something, but it was more of a hood thing. You know what I'm saying? So that's the best way I can explain it. You know what I mean?
Boy.
Yeah. Now, if I want to talk about as far as Bloods, me and Abe used to go at it bad back in the day, right? Me and him used to go back at him and then Stephen James, right? As far as 8 Trey, Big Hunchy, me and him used to fight on sight. I don't give a damn if I'm at a stoplight. I used to jump out the car and we used to knuckle up, and I gotta give him his props. Back then, that nigga had some hands. And I think that's the only reason why I was always fighting with him, because it seemed like I just couldn't get it, right? So one day I caught him at Inglewood Courthouse. We knuckled up that parking lot. Then we knuckled up the Century Western. We was knuckling up everywhere. Then we started going in, but me and Marshall was blasting at each other. Then and then Andre Ransom, Devil from 107. Me and him stayed going at it. So I had a gang of people I was getting into it with that was my deadly rival.
Hey, Cartoon.
Oh.
Did you know Big Ice from 11-6?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah. The homie AIP.
How about
Hey,
Big Wiggles from Broadway?
Yeah. Matter of fact, Cubs was in 4800 with me, but I know him though.
Hey, kid.
Yeah. My sister.
I got a ricochet. I got a ricochet story.
Let's hear it.
Okay, so this brother Ricochet, he turned out to be a down ass dude, right? So one day, Hunchy and them, they were in front of Washington, and Ricochet would go there to drop his sister off or girlfriend or something. So they all knew what his car looked like and shit. So he pulled up, I think he threw a rock or bottle at it. So he ended up shooting a gun and it shot Hunchy in the back. So now everybody's looking for Ricochet, and everybody. So then one day, the guy at the beauty shop, he knows Ricochet, and he wants to get the shit resolved. So Ricochet pulls up on me at the bus stop, and he says basically, "Hey, Coots, man, I didn't mean to shoot Hunchy, man, like that." And then I said, "What do you mean?" Then he explained how it had happened. And I said, "Okay, man." I said, "Let me get it Sidewinder." So I got it Sidewinder in Baycock. And so cause it was their immediate incident, but I'm a Crip too. So, and so I said, "That brother want to talk, he'll come up to the park." And they say, "Okay, so let's set it up." So he came up to the park by himself to talk about it. And once he explained everything to them that evening in the park, I was there. Once he explained everything, he walked out of the park.
Hey, was he in the Volkswagen, that beige Volkswagen? Or was he in
I think so, but when I left the street, he had that white motorcycle, that clean ass a Triumph, and he would come up to y'all's park. But hey, what year did y'all take that park?
What? Sonella?
No, I remember the year we took that, but we only took it for Sundays. what year did y'all take that other park? The one Ladera. He would come to Ladera Park sometime.
Yeah, we been running Ladera since the beginning, though. You know,
Oh, okay.
but we used to like you know, like Centinela Park. We used to claim that too. On Sundays
Yeah.
it was all Crips Park, but then
Oh
we
yeah, oh yeah.
up there. You know what I'm saying? Because that was like right in the hood. We used to walk there, but I mean they'd be up there, but you know,
Yeah.
I mean Ricochet. I know Ricochet well. You know what I'm saying? All
Whatever happened to
the
him?
bones.
Whatever.
He's still around.
Oh, all right. Next time I talk to Caesar, I'm gonna try to get him on the phone.
Yeah,
Pretty boy.
Hey,
I used to hear about that name you said. A-Bay, I used to hear that name.
Yeah, A-Bay is younger than us, but A-Bay was a
Yeah.
he was a hitter. He rest in peace now.
Right.
yeah, he is younger, but yeah, me and him, we used to get into it behind this broad, right? That stayed in the hood named Melinda, stayed on Fifth Ave, right? Near Southwest. And it was on some jealousy bullshit, right? So he was at some school, right? It was like a continuation down the street from that Pet Boys, right? By Tamrick and Hawthorne or La Brea or whatever. But anyway, I used to go up there and I used to wait for him to come out, right? And he could start fighting in the street, you know. So he was one of my rivals, right, back then, you know. But the like I said, the worst fight, the worst one I used to go toe to toe with was Hunchy. You know, I'm gonna tell you an incident what happened, right? Y'all gonna laugh at this. I was at Sportsman Park, right, which was Jesse Owens now, right? So me, three homies, right? We on the grass. Hunchy rolled up on a 10-speed, right? And he had his arms folded. He said, "Y'all looking for me? Y'all looking for Big Hunchy?" So got out of the wayside, right? So I got a little size on me and shit. So I stand up. My brother say, "Knock him out, Victor. Knock him out." So when he dropped his 10-speed, I draw down like this, right? And he do the same. Then he started like doing that Ali shuffle, right? And so I said, "Nah, this ain't right." So when he jumped back, when I swung on him, and when he jumped back, he started whistling. Man, let me tell you something. I ain't never seen that many hoovers and gangsters in my fucking life. Excuse me, but they came driving on the grass with the white Broham. That was Punkin driving, right, from 107. Then all the gangsters came from over the fence by the swimming pool. Looked like there's about 40 of them. It was only 4 of us. So Hunchy tried to like come after me, and I swung on him, right? And he failed. The whole park jumped up, grabbed their kids, grabbed blankets. They started running. So now we see the danger we in, right? It's like about 100 gang members up there against 4. So I started running down that little walkway by the golf course in Sportsman Park, and they start shooting at it, right? So they tell us, "Hey," I tell the homies, "Keep running, keep running. If you get hit, just keep running, right? You know, don't drop dead in the park, right? Let them get you. Just keep running." So we run all the way to the 9-0, right? We go running by Cody Brown house. He said, "What happened?" We heard, you know, I told him, "Man, they caught us at the park slipping." We went back over there. So we walked over there from the 90s all the way down St. Andrews. We crossed Manchester. We went near 83rd, and that's when I seen Rayford, Lil X-Con, and it was a gang of them. So I guess they was all like gloating, like, "Yeah, we caught this nigga pretty up at the park, right? We chased him out." At the time, I'm mad, you know, because you made me run. So we get into a wild shootout. Right there, broad daylight, 3 o'clock. We running all down 83rd toward Western, shooting at each other, making cars drop their hood. I mean, people was ducking down in their cars, literally under the steering wheel. I run back up 84. Then we meet up again. We get into another wild gun battle. I run all the way back, cross Manchester, go through the St. Andrews Park, cut through there. We get all the way back to 94. I was out of breath. And late that night, police picked my ass up. But back then, you know, dudes wasn't telling like they was doing. So when I get in there, they cut me loose. So somebody must have seen me and told, right? But the gangsters didn't tell. They didn't say nothing, you know? So they cut me loose. But yeah, that was like the most wildest gun battle I ever had.
Hey.
Hey, Cuse, they think that's your dog that ran away.
No, that's his brother. That's the craziest thing that happened. I was losing I was so mad, and I was hunting for my dog, and I was gonna get in trouble because I went over these people's house because someone said, "Hey man, there's a white dog over there," and they didn't have a white dog before, and they had like this wall, and I couldn't look over it, so I just went up to the front door and I said, "Hey man, let me see your dog." And he said, "What do you mean, let me see your dog?" I said, "This is what I said, dude. Let me see the dog that you got." So then some more dudes came to the door and they said, "Hey, man, are you that dude who was on the video about the dog?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Man, we don't got it. That's not it back there." I said, "Well, let me see it." So he said, "Okay." So they went and got it. And it wasn't my dog. It was a white skinny dog. So I said, "All right, man, no disrespect, but
A skinny
everybody
dog.
said that the dog was over here. You know how it is, man." So I got this phone call. So the dude said, he said, "Hey, bro, I'm gonna give you your dog's brother." And I said, "Okay, cool. Does he bite?" He says, "Yeah, he bites. You're gonna have to make friends with it." So I made friends with it, and then I brought it home.
He been yours ever since.
Yeah, he been mine ever since. He's crazy. He was biting me now. I was trying to get him
Hey,
that
Stone.
Hey, what's happening?
Did you know Green Eyed April? She a lot younger than you, but you might have knew her.
Yeah, I know April. Yeah.
Okay. Is she still around?
Well, man, the last time I heard April, somebody told me she had cancer, bro. But that's been a while. I never knew if that was true or not. You know what I'm saying? But April was the homegirl. I mean, April, when I got out the pen in '88, she looked out for me, man. She helped me get furniture for my spot and all that. You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cuse, have you ever had a little Cuse?
A son?
Nah, a little homeboy.
Oh yeah, little TQ. I mean little QT, Rona's little brother. Remember him, pretty boy?
I
Huh?
remember him. He
That's
named after you.
Quint. That's Quint.
Yeah, little Quint. He told me, he said, "Cutes, I want to be baby QT." And I said, "All right, just put in work." And he started putting in a bunch of work. He was crazy. I don't know whatever happened to him though. He
Man,
probably chilled out.
I haven't heard from him in 15 years.
Yeah, he in Missouri. He in Missouri.
Oh, okay.
Hey,
All I told him, I said, if you're gonna be baby QT, you gotta be putting in a lot of work, dog. And he told me, "All right, I agree." And
where your homeboy a Big King Tut?
My homeboy.
Yeah, 80 from Fire Trey Avalon.
Touch from Fortray.
He from Fortray?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought he was from Fire. I forgot it's been so long. You know, he was staying on Big Rick Block. And, you know, me and him was cool. And the homies was sweating one day at the store because he had like 3 earrings in his left ear, right? You know what I mean? So I had to try to get him up off of him, you know what I'm saying? But he was cool, you know.
Man, hey, you asked me about somebody hate the ground I walk on.
Oh, for real? Yeah.
Man, listen. I'm telling you, hey, you heard that story that Pretty Boy just gave you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can give you one of them. Can't stand me and couldn't stand him.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I forgot where he was from. I just remember him being on Big Rick Block, and my little homies came and got me like, "Man, this dude from A-Tray, he on the block," and woo. So I pulled around there, and he was fucking one of the homegirls. He was fucking with her. My homeboy J-Bone used to fuck with this Jamaican chick named Pat. And so, you know, when I go around the corner, you know what I'm saying, I just had to get the homies up off him. But after I talked to him, you know, I was able to work the shit out, man. You know what I'm saying? But I told him he couldn't like that.
Hey, look. Hey, one time I got out of jail and they had a little female staying in the hood. I started messing with her. We was staying right there in the apartments on 50th and Avalon. So time goes on. She say, "Well, look, I gotta move." I'm like, "Well, where you moving to?" She said, "I gotta move." She said, "I gotta move on the west side." Now I immediately I didn't want to go. I don't live over there. I said, "Man, I ain't going to live over there." So we talked about it. So I'm like, all right, we'll bump it then. I'm like, well, you know, where you moving to? She said, I'm moving on Bryanhurst. Now, at the time, I didn't know where Bryanhurst was. This is back in the 80s. I didn't know where Bryanhurst was. I say, you know, what is Bryanhurst? She like, man, it's on the west side, I'm like, dang, you know where? I'm like, where? So she trying to explain it. I say, well, what's the street number? She said, on 67th. I'm like, oh, Hell no. I said, I don't know. I said, I don't know where Bryanhurst is, but I'm not going on that street, wherever it is on the west side. But now look, my good stupid behind, I say, well, bump it then. I'm gonna ease over there one day. She moved, but you know, this my girl. I said, okay. Man, I get off the bus on Crenshaw and 67th. I'm walking down 67th. And I'm looking, I'm like, man, I said, man, am I doing the, I said, man, God dang. So I'm coming down, I get to the apartments. Well, we wasn't no problem at first. So now it's time for me to come home. I got to get back on the bus. Man, I come outside the apartments and I peek up down the street and I'm like, what? Needless to say, I spent the night over there.
Yeah, that's what I there. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I know how that feels. I used to go everywhere, man. I was like, man, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, I used to be in y'all hood, but like I say, I kept a low profile because the homie Kincaid used to go with this girl named Pat Akins, and they used to stay in the motel on 51st and Avalon, or I think it was 51st or 55th. It was a little small one on the east side of the street. But I used to be going over there, and then we used to be, you know, selling different shit over there. But you know, that's what was cool with the Broadways too, though. So
you know, Kincaid got a baby by one of my homegirls.
Yeah, I used to be over there fucking with Kincaid, having motherfucker everywhere. We used to be in the Pueblos everywhere, man. Fucking, oh man, like man, you know, yeah, man. You know how it go, man.
I ain't never been one of them, man. I done met females, I done talked to them, and like, man, my thing, when I meet a female, I'm like, you know, well, where you from? Oh, I don't bang. Well, where you live at? And if she said the wrong thing, oh no, I didn't play them. I didn't play them games. I didn't. Nope. Not for now.
I tell her, meet me on the corner and jump in the car as soon as I open the door.
I done did that before.
Hey, I couldn't help myself, man. I just gotta go. You know what I'm saying? You know,
look.
Get me up out of there. You know what I'm saying?
Cartoon.
Yeah.
Hey, Cartoon, did you know Chew and Rainbow?
From Broadway?
Yeah. I guess they were from Broadway.
Yeah, they from Broadway, 5 dudes, yeah.
Yeah, you got along? Did you get along with both of those guys?
Yeah, they was cool. You know, I didn't have a problem with other than like when we was real young. You know, the Broadways would always come into the park and fight. We would fight them all the time because you know what I'm saying. They felt they was harder than us. We felt that we was harder than them. But now they were like, okay, well, we gonna take South Park like 79, 80, 81. It was a lot of fist fights going on because they just swore up and down they was gonna do what they want to do with South Park, and we was like, no, homie, no, this our park. But now they would come over there though. They would do their due diligence.
Yeah, yeah. I just mentioned them because I mentioned them just for history's sake because they were two damn brothers, you know.
Oh yeah. Without a doubt, they was both riders. Now they was riders.
Yeah.
Hey, pretty boy, show us that model you made, man.
Yeah, show us that model.
The one that we thought was you.
Oh, yeah.
That's the one that got on the internet, right?
It looked just like him.
Put it up.
His hands look real as hell.
He got the Thompson on him.
Yeah, he do.
I gotta have it.
How they make that?
I don't know, but that motherfucker looks cool.
I ordered this off eBay, right?
Yeah.
But you can they got them now where you can make your own face on them. Them things is $300. They asked me on an email, they said, do you want me to hook you up right now? I said, y'all gotta wait for a minute. $300. Damn.
But Cuse was telling you to make them yourself and sell
He
them.
can.
Hey,
He
was
can.
make it out of newspaper and
Yeah,
paper mache.
yeah.
He can do it.
Hey,
He can do
Q.
it. Yeah.
I know you know how to make them knives out that newspaper.
Yeah.
I know how to make a dart gun out of the newspaper.
Hey,
Oh
I used
yeah,
to take the
yeah,
National
we roll them up tight.
Geographic,
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Dark gun.
National Geographic,
Yeah, I can make a dart. I can make a dart gun, and I can make a spear.
I was just finished
Yeah.
I remember Mouse was showing all the homies on how to make spears, bombs, everything else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey, the homie Lil Looney, rest in peace. When he was at Tracy, I showed him how to make a bomb out of matchsticks, shave the matchsticks, roll them up in paper, take the dental floss, put glue on it, sprinkle the matchstick powder on there.
Yeah. There you go.
And they sound like a straight up blockbuster. Then
Hey, you ain't put no chess pieces in there?
What, chest piece? No, you know what I put in there? I used to take remember they used to give us real razor blades back in the days?
Yeah.
Before they stopped them, I used to take the razor blades up and take my fingernail clippers and break them off. Break it off little pieces and sprinkle it in there, and then take the chain from the fingernail clippers. And I clip them balls and then stick those in there. You know?
Pretty boy.
Man,
Hey,
You never used to use the toilet paper coil in the middle and fold it and put melt the glue around the hot wax.
I used to use them too, right? Because they keep the compression in. So when it goes off, it's like a MA. Then I used to take the National Geographics. I used to take the National Geographics, put wax on every page, let it harden up. Then I cut it. No, I cut it first into the shape of a knife. Then I take the wax and put it on there, let it harden up. Then I throw that Ajax by the toilet and grind that motherfucker to a straight piece. Then put a handle on it. You know, before after they stopped us from when we had the metal spoons and the knife, then they switched it to plastic. They don't understand. You still take that plastic and harden that up.
Man, and look, I'm gonna tell you what worked good too. You only gonna blast him one time with it. And don't hit him through the clothes. Hit him on his skin. You take that newspaper, let it sit in the sink overnight where it get real mushy, like you say, paper mache. Yeah. Then when you take it out, squeeze it, and mix it with that coffee we used to get off the store, and shape it and let it dry, harden up with that coffee. Oh, you'll knock a patch of fat off of them with that.
Hey, Cartoon, they want to know if you know Gangsta Marv.
From where?
They didn't say.
I know a couple of dudes with that name. I need to know what set they from.
All right.
Yeah.
What kind of I'm the only one that got a dog. You got a dog, Cartoon.
I got a cat. Hey, man, I thought I was a dog person until I got out the pen and I had to clean that doodle and pee up. I'm like, bump that. I got a cat because they do it in a box on their own.
Yeah, cats are easy upkeep. And if you don't come home, you can leave it outside and it'll find something to eat.
Man, guess what? Every day when I go to work, I put the cat out. And when I come home from work, she be on the porch waiting on me. I let her in.
Yeah. Yeah. I like cats, but my dogs don't like cats, so I can't get a cat.
They said he from Fire Trade with a sister named Connie.
Oh, yeah. He talking about Wolf. Yeah, that's the homie.
Hey, ISIS could have used y'all in the Middle East, man.
Hey, no question.
Man, hey, prison, you have to be inventive.
For real.
Real inventive.
Pretty boy making dirty bombs and shit.
No shit.
Man, look,
He don't even need test pieces up.
Yeah.
No, I take the razor blades. The razor blades, see, when the razor blades go off, they're already sharp.
Right.
So you get hit with that shit, it's gonna make you holler.
Anybody that was in San Quentin like in 82 or 83, we had this dude called the Mad Bomber. So we would get all of our matches, everything, and we would send it over to the Mad Bomber. And the Mad Bomber would make a bomb that would be so loud that you could feel a concussion of it through the building.
Damn.
Yeah, that's how bad he was.
The best weapon I had is when I was working in the furniture factory, spraying furniture in the feds. I was getting them needles that go into spray guns and making them ice picks. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, them mother wear your ass out one of them motherfuckers.
See, hey, them little needles you talking about, they'll go good. They'll go good in that spear gun cute making.
Oh, ain't no question.
Oh yeah, they would fly up out of there like a dart.
Right. Yeah.
Long dart.
Hey,
Man, hey,
you know Carter Spikes cartoon?
Who?
A businessman named Carter Spikes.
Carter Spikes. I can't say I do, homie. I can't say I do.
You got to
Carter
remember
Spikes.
that the businessmen played out like in 60. The OG businessmen played out like around 68.
Shoot, you know, they were still hanging in the park all the way into the late 70s.
Yeah, they would still come up there because they were on a different page. The businessmen, they were always on a different page.
See, I'm named after a businessman. My big homeboy, Big Cartoon, he was a businessman.
Yeah, the businessmen had the respect, and back then they had those briefcases. And sometimes you might see a businessman banking down the street with some creases in a briefcase.
He say creases in a briefcase. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Hey, Kev.
Yeah.
So you said Cousin Carrie's health ain't up to par no more, huh?
Well, the last picture I seen of him, he didn't look too good. I haven't seen him in person since he got shot.
Okay. Yeah, man. He I was in CMC West. I caught a stabbing case, and I couldn't get to a knife quick enough. Here come Cousin Carrie with a little shout behind. Here you go, Toon. Use mine. I'm like, good looking out. I owe you one. He had old lawnmower blade.
Yeah, I got a lot of cousin stories, but I can't tell them all.
Good shit.
Anybody did time with Kelsey Thomas?
I did. Kelsey used to be a West Side Crip. I knew Kelsey's whole family. Kelsey's mother and father owned a barbecue pit on Western down in the 90s, like 91st, right around up in there, right before the Twilight Zone. Kelsey grew up with over there in the 90 hood, where it was just West Side. He grew up over there with Cody and all of them, and hung out with Pookie and all the brothers over there, and hung out with Michael Christian and them. All the brothers that would be over there, but Kelsey's always been Kelsey started the Crips out there in that city that he moved to. When he moved out there, his mama moved him out there to get him away from us, and he went out there and started the set out there. But he's doing some time. His brother went to death row. He's RIP now, and my respect goes out to his brother. You know.
Okay. Hey, Kev.
Yeah.
Do you know a dude? I don't know, a Stone or Pretty Boy might know him. I'm not sure. Named Steven Jackson.
Steven Jackson. No,
yeah, he claims 6'0", but I think they call him either Way Out or Wolf. I don't know what his name might have been from over there.
I remember a Steve Jackson too, but I'm trying to think of the name they called him. Because I think Steve was in the pen.
Well, he was, you know, he one of them robbers. He like robbing jewelry stores and banks and all that.
You sure you ain't talking about Steve Wells?
No, not Steve. Well, me and him was on. No, that's the homie right there. That's a rider right there. Yeah, when we took off on the Mexicans in Lancaster, he was with all the smoke. Yeah.
No, Steve is a rider for sure. That's my guy, man. Yeah,
but no, this dude here was named Steven Jackson. Right now he would probably be like 60 years old right now, 60 or 61.
Hey, look, Cartoon, I'll tell you like I tell everybody, and this ain't being arrogant. I ain't trying to be say dude wasn't nothing. But if he that age and I don't know him, he wasn't on the 18.
No, he wasn't no heavy gangbanger like that. He was more of a robber. And then, like when he would come to jail, I believe he was just claiming 60s because he was over in that area. But like he's supposed to like rob the Super Bowl back when in '84 or what was that? '84. It was in L.A.
Oh, I don't know, but you might be talking about the boy that was Tony. Well, no, that was Tony them that robbed the people at the forum that time. I don't know what his crime he was. That got locked in the Rolls Royce.
And it wasn't Charles Jackson?
Huh?
No,
We
it
had
was
a homie named Charles Jackson. He did a lot of robbing. He ran with Squally D.
Hey, Mac, you remember the boy that one of the name was Tony. He used to claim A Trey, but they used to stay on down there where Crip Cal them stayed on Van Ness and like 40 something. Remember they robbed the people out of the
Windsor Hill?
I forgot. I think that might be who Cartoon talking about his crime. They robbed the people at the forum and then they got locked in the Rolls Royce. The Rolls Royce door was locked.
Yeah.
They couldn't get out. I think that's who he's talking about.
It might be him. It might be him. He did like about 14 years straight.
Yeah, that sounds like that could be him because if I'm not mistaken, his name was Steven. You know, I can't remember his last name, but he used to try to run with us because everybody was. A lot of us was robbing back then. You know what I'm saying?
I believe that's him. You know, that was my crime partner on my last case.
Oh, is that right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's probably who that is. You know, cause like I know all of the robbers, and well, not all of them, but basically the ones that was claiming the hood that was robbing in the late 70s, early 80s. That was our whole get down. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Game came out. You know, I mean, from everybody. I don't want to start naming them, but Mac know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole little get down. You know what I mean? Cutes know all of them too.
Is the boy Caffeine? He from y'all hood?
Shit, I don't know him. You know him, Mac?
The one who played in no, Caffeine. He a rapper. His rapper name is Caffeine. He be playing in the movie Set It Off, and the boy who got stomped out of Menace to Society.
Oh, you talking about Nutty?
Yeah.
Well,
man,
Cartoon, they want to know if you was out in 1982 when a female got shot in the leg at a party at South Park. She lived on 49th. Her house faced the park. He believes it started a war.
A war with who? I got out in 82, but I didn't stay but 2 weeks. I went right back. But the only girl that I ever the villain shot my homegirl in the leg in a drive-by, but that was 86, I think. That's the only girl getting shot I remember when I was out.
That's a trip. I'm visualizing now. I'm in the park. I'm visualizing those houses that strap the back of the park, man. Why you do that, kid, man? Why the hell you do that?
Parking lot is.
Yeah, that's weird. The house, the front yard.
That's
Park Front Vault.
Back, however you want to describe it.
That's called Park Front Vault.
Huh?
That's called Park Front Vault.
Yeah. You see,
that's crazy.
I used to park over there all the time and walk through the park. When I stayed on 57th and Main, I used to go over there with some of the Broadways and shit, or either Gangster from Five News Broadway, Tony Lee, because that's family. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My girl, we used to give, like, for my kids, we used to get little events in the park and shit. You know what I mean? When I was staying on Main over there. Yeah. But the war, we weren't really beefing with y'all like that, though. You know what I mean?
Well, see, I told some dudes, I think I told Kev, but I was saying, see, that's what happened. Like when y'all start kicking with the Broadways, that what made us start kicking with the gangsters, because they start coming over. And Crazy D and all them, like around 81, that's when they start coming over.
Yeah. I used to be all through that. Then it used to be a trip because I used to fuck with the East Coasters, but they'll see me going across Slauson where I stayed at. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, but they ain't really trip, but you know, on the Broadway, see me coming back from that side of Slauson, but they never did express any, you know, ill will toward me or nothing.
What was that? What was that saying y'all in the Broadways used to have back then?
6-0 wherever we go, 5 do whatever we do.
Whatever we do, yeah.
That's how.
Hey, pretty boy, you hit the corner, pretty boy. Where you going to, Mr. Spirit's liquor store?
Yeah, when I cut off earlier, Big U had called me, right?
Yeah.
So he asked me to meet him around the corner on 8th Ave in Slauson.
Well, tell Big Q I said what's up.
All right.
You ain't supposed to tell people where you at?
Yeah, I'm just
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, pretty boy.
Hey,
ask Big U, do he remember when he used to come on 53rd and bring my homegirl that money?
Hey, that sounds like extortion.
No, he would give. No, listen. He would give her a bunch of money, and when she go to the county jail to see Kincaid, she would give all, you know, Kincaid and the other 6-0s who she's supposed to give the money to, they money.
yeah.
All right. So everybody think Big U don't be looking out for homies in jail. Y'all just heard a story.
Yeah, whatever happened to Kincaid?
Kincaid's still around. Kincaid sent me a joke almost every morning.
Tell Kincaid I say what's up. That used to be Blues Road Dog.
Yeah.
I see him in a lot of functions. He makes sure I see him, and he start talking history.
Yeah, Kincaid got a lot of history.
Yeah, Kincaid is something else, man.
Yeah, I think his mama used to have a snake.
What?
I think his mama had a python.
Oh,
if I remember correctly.
Oh no. Kill.
I know his mama used to have them nickel sacks in the 70s.
Cam, I don't know how you gonna chop this one up.
Ask Kincaid his mama used to have a snake.
A 2-hour interview?
3 hours. It's gonna be 3.
God dang. Well, we ride now.
Yeah.
Shit, it'd be time to eat in a little bit. But yeah, Kincaid, man, they whole family, his mama was always down, you know.
Hey. So did Kincaid stay in like a duplex looking brown house that sat right there off the avenue right there?
Kincaid stayed right off of 2nd Ave, like the first and second house on the corner across street from 59th Street School.
That's him. I used to be. She had a snake, homie. That's my buddy.
Yeah, probably. We used to. I know we used to get the nickel sacks from him and shit. I know his mama was down. Kincaid,
his mama was down. His mama was downer than all of them.
Della was like the godmother of the hood, man. You know?
Yeah. His mama had more gangster than us, and she was older than us.
Yeah.
All right, that's Kincaid. Yeah. That's a trip.
Yeah.
His house was made out of stucco.
Okay.
Yeah.
You remember old boy phone number that got in contact with you, gave me his number. I talked to him. He was locked up with me out here. But now he originally from LA. But he said, when I met him, he was telling me, he's from 6-0, originally from LA, but he stayed in Alabama. He moved out here years ago in the early 80s. But I said, well, Cub, what they call you? Did you know, he said he was Little Kid. Did you know how he named Little Kid?
Yeah, Little Kid stayed off the original, Little Kid stayed off of Arlington because Big Kid is Battle Cat's
brother.
Little Kid is and Kid they stayed on Arlington off of Little Kid. I didn't know Little Kid was still around though.
Okay, well the dude I'm talking about, he moved to Alabama in like 85, I think, 85 or 86. His real name is Ricky Clark. But he said when he's from 6-0, they called him Little Kid.
Yeah, his name probably got taken over by another kid, because I know Kid The other little kid used to be at the liquor store drinking in the 90s.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if that's the same little kid, 'cause I don't remember kid them names, but they all grew up on Arlington over there between 67, between 65th and Southwest.
Hey, I got let me read these two things real quick. One love to all the G's of LA. We got to stand together and set examples for these youngsters that's coming behind us. That's cool
without
from
a doubt.
Bebop Watts.
Without a doubt.
Without
That's
a
cool
doubt.
from Nine Trey, Bebop Watts.
Who?
Cool. They did the video.
Yeah.
And then this cat says, what up, Toon? Just haven't seen you since Mumpy's Garage on 97 from Thumb.
Oh, hey, that's hey, that's the boy, that's Swanee Fly Cuz I used to tell you about, cuz. I used to try to take, man, call your cousin, get him over here. Don't tell him I'm here. I was gonna get on his head, boy, as soon as the car pulled up. But
man, you never know who be watching these lives, man.
Yeah, that's the homie, cub. You know, before our little issue with the coaches, man, I stayed in 97 East Coast Hood. I'm talking about, man, every day, right there on the corner of 97th and McKinley. I used to hang out.
Kills, what up, man?
No, I was thinking it was a trip. One day I went down, I lived on 68, right? Between Hardale and Dinker. And one day I got in my car and I was driving east up 68. And I went far, I didn't realize how far 68th Street went. I was like in my own little planet. And I kept going, and next thing I know, I was reading Crip on the wall, and it was Crips down there. And I was like, what the fuck? And I thought we were the only Crips on 68th Street. But when you go across Vermont, way on the east side, there's Crips over there on 68th Street.
Oh, yeah, that's the 680 East Coast.
That's crazy, because I didn't know it until that day I went over there.
Hey, Q. Hey, you know, a lot of people didn't know that the Bloods had Vermont all the way up to like 68th, 69th in the early 70s.
I told her in the interview that the Brims had pockets in all that area.
Yeah, man, it was the Menlo boys, all that Hoover Hood.
Yeah, that's real history right there.
All that was Bloods when we was coming up. You know,
man, we had to push him back. That was all the nighttime gang fighting and shit. That was all the gang fighting.
We used to leave the 60s and walk down, come down your block 69th, go up to 71st where Devil them was up, walk down 70th. And when we get to Vermont, it was one Hoover. I can't even think his name. He stayed on 70th in Vermont. He was the only on that side at that particular time.
Well, you had Gooch, Philip Bangs, and all them lived over there.
Yeah, and then you cross Vermont, across Florence, where Tony Station was at, and that was all Hoover. Now,
Hoover Joe, everybody over there. That's the shit. I think that was the epicenter of Hoover right
there. Hey, Stone.
Hey,
man, I got a question. But you know, you can answer. But now, Kev Mac, he probably more into that generation. But now listen, okay, you got the undergrounds right here. Now I used to always wonder about this. Okay, you got the undergrounds. You know they cool. They cool with those cars.
Big U, what up, Big U?
Night blood to the night blood.
What did y'all feel? How did y'all feel about the 10-5 and they name? You know they cool with everybody in the old car, but the name they had, how did that work?
The underground.
Well, you know,
no, the 10-5s.
Well, you know they also had the 10 trades and 11 trades.
Yeah.
So, you know, it wasn't never no war, no issue behind it, but it was always conversations about it.
Okay.
Nobody liked it when we used to cross out the threes.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't like that.
Hey, Big Q, how you doing?
Night blood.
How you doing, Big Q?
I'm good. I'm working at it, man.
Hey, it's good to see you, man.
Is that Big U?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's him.
Did Pretty Boy ask you what I told him to ask you?
Back in the day,
When you used to come on 53rd and get a homegirl money to take the Kincaid in the county jail.
Oh yeah, well, you know, Kincaid, big bro, so I definitely probably used to give somebody money for Kincaid.
Yeah.
I used to live with Kincaid when I was younger. I used to live with Kincaid and Della.
And did Kincaid's mama have a python snake?
Huh?
Did Kincaid's mama have a python snake?
You said Kincaid what?
Did Kincaid's mother have a python snake? A big ass snake?
You said did his mama have a snake?
Yeah.
Della had all kind of shit, man.
I know. I'm
Della
not
had all
tripping.
kind of shit. Della was a beast.
One thing she had for sure was some nickel sacks.
Huh?
I said one thing for sure she had was them nickel sacks. So that was the godmother of the hood.
She used to have me sit on the steps at 59th School and hold the sack with sleeve and some jack and take the sticks. They'll take the sticks, chop them in half, re-roll them.
Hey, Big you.
Yeah.
Hey, you remember? I don't know if you remember, man. I called you on the phone. When a girl called you, I jumped on the phone, and I was trying to find out, you know, who was the main perpetrator at the skating ring that night. And you was like, man, bump that, man. We don't throw our homies up under the bus.
Probably so.
You don't remember?
You know how we used to do it, man.
Okay, it was that. Right, you remember that rapper Young MC when he had that concert at the World on Wheels?
That was the no lighters too. You said what happened now?
You remember that rapper Young MC when he came to the World on Wheels and they was in there rapping?
Hold on one second, y'all. Hold on one second.
You done had so many fights at World on Wheels, man.
Hey, I was just thinking the same thing. Mama, he can't remember all the battles.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Where y'all at?
Huh?
No, don't say where you at.
Oh yeah.
Hey Stone, you tripping, cuz.
Yeah, I know, man. I'm putting the low jack on him. My bad, man.
Yeah.
Hey, when you got Q saying cuz, we know you tripping.
Yeah.
Hey, that's right, Q. Stay true to your roots, homie.
Man,
yeah, for sure.
Hey, check me when I'm slipping, homie. You know what I
mean? Yeah, you know we got each other's back, homeboy.
Yeah, keep me on my toes, man. You know?
For sure. Hey, Kev.
Huh?
Hey, Kev. So who's gonna be your pick, man? The season that started. Who you gonna get? Give us some picks.
Dodgers and Red Sox.
Oakland A's.
I'm rolling with that blue, man. The Dodgers, man.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna roll with the Angels.
I heard that.
I go with them too.
Hey, anything with that A on it, though. Atlanta.
But see, hey, guess what?
Oh, shit, he said tripping.
No. Look. That's new to me. You know, this right here always been our hats forever till I got out. And the homies flipped over and started wearing the California Angels. So I used to tell them, I'm like, cuz, how that's our A when it got that red in it? Oh, this what the homies wear. I was like, I ain't gonna wear that one. I'm gonna stick to what we've been wearing.
Yeah.
Hey, well, you know the youngsters put all the fashion and everything, man. You know what I mean? I mean, we couldn't get caught in no red now. This shit, you can wear red every day if you want to.
Yeah.
You gotta
some of us look pretty good in red.
Back in the day, it used to blind me. I couldn't stand to look at red, but now it's kind of flashy. I like it.
Man, don't do that, Kev. Don't do it, man.
Hey, look. Hey, back in 1982, right? I had just bought the Brougham. You know what I mean? I'm feeling pretty real fly, right? So I go get me a nice Sergio Stinchi sweatsuit. All it had was one red line going through. It's blue, had one red line, and little Kitty Ray, all little homies, they own me. Like, man, what you doing with all that damn in your thing? I'm like, man, it's just one little stripe. You know what I mean? That just show you how times change, you know?
That's right.
Yeah.
See, that's the, hey, man, look, these youngsters nowadays, they don't even know what it is to have a dress code. Man, we had a cold dress code back then, man. Man, we had a cold. Hey, you remember staying up all night using a whole can of starch on just one leg of your Levi's?
Yeah. Man, have them standing up, man.
Yeah.
You know, man, be ironing, sweating like a motherfucker. You know, making that crease right.
I used to use sugar. I would put sugar in water, and I would put my Levi's under my bunk bed in the county jail, and my shit would be creased up when I go to the court. I feel like I just came from the cleaner.
With them
Y'all
corduroys,
Let's hear it.
Y'all want to hear some funny ass shit? I took a whole can of Perform heavy starch, hit my overalls up. I had a motherfucker standing in the corner. We getting ready to go to Crenshaw, right? I sat down on a seat, and the whole back of them cracked like Ruffles potato chips. I had to go home and take the motherfuckers off and throw them away. Like potato chips.
Yeah, you burnt them. You burnt the material.
Hey, did you have the suspenders hanging?
Had the suspenders hanging.
Yeah, Mike.
I got the Godfather hat on.
Yeah, Mike.
It was hard, dude. That's hard.
They had them up with lids on, and we be dressed. Go our Motown on 54.
Hey, look. Hey, what about the half, the DCs, the half overalls? And then you go buy your blue suspenders to put your them over, have them motherfuckers hanging, man, with that blue rag, crispy
and the cap toe steak.
Hey, what about the painter pants with the blue rag hanging from that little hook used to be on the side?
Oh yeah,
that's the
hey,
DC.
that was the shit
Yeah.
What about when you put on the stingy brim like the one Pretty Boy got, and you put the blue rag on up under it? You put on a tight silk blue t-shirt. You get your suspenders that are black. You hook them into your 501s and have on some great biscuit.
Oh yeah, that's it, man.
Oh yeah. Oh, what about?
I was the coolest Crip. I was the coolest Crip that night. Yeah.
Wait a minute. Hey, what about
the big bell Levi's though?
Wait.
Oh hell yeah.
What about when you let your fro out and put on 2, 3, and 4 hair nets and pull the golf hat down on them?
Oh
yeah, that's how my little brother Lucky would roll his.
The original golf hat with the club.
The club. Yeah, the liquor store golf hat.
The more hair you had, the more hair nets you had to put on the whole
extra.
I had to put like 20 hair nets on to keep my fro down under that motherfucker.
What about you go to the Western Surplus and get one of those Vietnam beanies and go get it creased? Go get that thing creased with heavy starch.
Not the steel beanie.
The steel beanie, dog. Those were hard.
Hey, Q, I used to like to put that hairnet over my ace deuce too, though.
Oh yeah, I was gonna bust that. Yeah, but you got to put a bunch of pins in it too.
Hey, without question, you know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
Hey, you remember the knit kickers?
Oh, man, who I?
Yeah. Hell yeah. Oh, the croaker sacks. You got to get some water beads. Remember the water beads?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to bust the water beads. And we ain't going to forget the Crip shoe of all time, the Biscuit and Romeo's.
Yeah, the
Romeo's, yeah, for real. With the taps on the bottom.
Oh, yeah, you got to have taps.
I'm putting that with y'all.
All right,
I'll come back.
All right.
Q's, don't act like you didn't wear wallabies.
Man, when the water beads, I remember when I got out of the croaker sacks and then in the water bead. But Bad News of them would be wearing them Japanese karate flats. Those
Yeah,
things were
that was the karate.
they were uncomfortable.
Hey,
Yeah, that was the karate. Bad news. Them was
Yeah,
karate.
yeah.
Hey, what about
Yeah.
those suede shoes that had the little pocket on the ankles?
hey,
The black.
Yeah,
Oh, you put the
wait a
little
yeah, they
dime
was
in the
like
side.
Yeah,
they were like a house
Yeah,
shoe,
yeah.
huh?
yeah.
hey,
But,
look, the audience is so young. They talking about British Knights.
Oh shit.
hey, I think we losing them. We better come on back up to the 2000s, man.
Right.
They gonna
Yeah,
come out.
yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
so
yeah.
yeah, we better. Well, shit, my style ain't changed too much. Shit.
Baby,
Chiefs, did you wear karate shoes?
baby,
Piranha, no.
you all right?
Alligator.
You know
I
what
Okay,
had a
karate
pair.
shoes are, right?
okay.
Oh no, no, that was bad news to them in the Karate Federation. That was Shaft. All them brothers used to wear those karate shoes.
What's his name? Pete Winbush, all them cats.
Yeah,
Okay.
and they would walk funny with them. They would
Go.
kind of walk like Bruce. They had the Bruce Lee stroke.
Yeah.
They would kick their feet out real quick to the side and bend their knees like a penguin. They would walk like that. I said, these motherfuckers is crazy.
Yeah, them damn karate shoes, them the most uncomfortable shoes in the land.
Man, they start giving it to us in the county jail. They say you can't have boots no more. We got too many assaults. You wear these karate shoes.
Yeah.
And then everybody in the county jail had them on.
Yeah.
That was the worst thing.
Yeah, back look like you done lost everybody, man. My shit about to flash out too.
Okay. All right, bro. Take it easy, man.
All right, man.
Yeah.
Out, man.
All right. All right. I'm about to go too. So I'll see you good brothers later on.
All
yeah,
right.
thanks for coming on, man. Y'all made it live tonight.
Hey, it's all good, man. It was a Crip meeting. Y'all be cool, man.
I'm gonna have to get the Bloods on here next.
Yeah, ain't
Well,
no,
they could have came on there tonight if they wanted to.
yeah.
All
All right,
y'all.
y'all be cool.
All right, peace. All right, OG Cutes. Well, we put on a good live tonight. I wasn't expecting all those guests, but I always say you never know what to expect when KM Video live streams come on. It might be me, might talk baseball, might talk sex, might talk politics, might talk real life, or we might get some G's on the panel from the Trays, the O's. Might get Big U on here at any point. Y'all know, Mumpster, the Mumpster man. So Mumpster made another promise to y'all. All right? But I'll be in touch, man. I got a Melvin Farmer skull from A-Tray Gangster interview. I have to get it off the memory card, upload, edit. But y'all got a skull from A-Tray Gangster. He got a lot of history, man. It's not just A-Tray history. It involves some 60 history, involves a lot of Crip history, and a lot of West Side Crip history. So, man, it's a long interview. It's a lot of information in it. We're going to get on that. Yeah, some people still, they got to sell biscuits because some people still wear them. But, so be looking forward to Skull from A-Tray Gangster on the Blue Channel, man. It's a lot, so it's going to be a lot of work. And it's baseball season. I'm going to be in tune to them Dodgers, man. So when y'all don't hear from me, y'all don't see me, you know what it is. But I'll be on after the baseball game, so we're going to start having some late lives now. Y'all take it easy. Good looking out for the super chats. Appreciate y'all, man. Skunk Dog, Crystal, Winston Ave, everybody that moderated. Appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good night, man. Goob Show. You need to go live tonight, Goob. But I'm out of here, man. Shout out to Keithstone, Cartoon, Cutes, Mumpy, Big U, Pretty Boy. And if I miss somebody, peace.